All right, am I alive or not? Am I alive or not? Someone let me know very quickly. It's the final round. We haven't got time to waste. Am I live or not? And let me know about the audio and video quality as usual. It's the battle of the four leaders as we have Gukesh, we have Nakamura, we have Fabiano, and of course the young Nepomniachtchi. Who's going to win today? Let me know in the comments, chat. Let me know in the comments. What do we think? What do we think? I'm really curious to know your thoughts. So, yeah, let me know about video and audio as usual. Okay, so seems like we've got a Nimzo here. We've got a Nimzo here. Well, actually, first of all, let me know if I'm even live or not. Let me know if I am live or not. So we got d4, d5, c4, dc4, a qgd sort of position again in the game of Nakamura and Gokesh. QGD is a very solid weapon. So I mean, if Gokesh plays this properly, he can guarantee himself at least a draw. So a3 seems like a new idea. What's the point of a3? I don't see the point of a3 yet. You can castle first, right? And then you can play queen e2, rook d1. This is more common. Sometimes you play b3, bishop b2. So a3 is a little bit new to me. What do you guys think? a3? Isn't this a little bit too early for it, or does Nakamura have some special idea prepared which I'm missing? Nakamura did spend 11 minutes on the clock for a3, so I don't know how familiar he is with this position. Like, you could have played e4, queen e2, or short castle. What was the need of a3 just yet? It's a good question. It's a good question. I guess we will find out. We'll find out. What's Fabiano doing? Oh, Fabiano and Nepo are in for blood. So they've got the QGD, Carlsberg variation, and bishop b4. This is the more aggressive try. So this is how you know Nepo's playing for a win. If he was fine with a draw, he would play bishop e7. Good opening choice by Caruana because he's going for a low risk variation. CD5 is always low risk. But now Nepo is trying to up the stake by playing bishop b4, e3 h6, bishop h4, g5. Okay, Nepo has prepared this properly. Queen c2, h5. Wow, the idea is to trap the bishop straight away. Have to play f3, takes, bishop e6, bishop d3, c6. Long castles by Fabiano. Okay, this is going to be a decisive result. This is going to be a... Yes, Hikaru can win. Hikaru, of course, can win. So Hikaru wins in the situation that he beats Gukesh, but Fabiano and Nepo make a draw. So in that case, Hikaru wins straight away. But if let's say there is a decisive result here and there is a decisive result in Nakamura game, then we go into tie breaks. And it does seem like Fabiano and Nepomniachtchi would end in a decisive result. I just don't know who's going to win because this position looks sharp after white has castle long. You could have played a3 first. That was also an option. And you make this bishop question where it wants to go. If he takes, then you claim that after something like bc3, black does not have the bishop pair anymore. So you could play knight e2, you could play e4 in the future, or you could just even short castle. If h4, you play g4. So that kind of position is also possible. But Fabiano did not pose that question just yet. Instead, he long castled first, which is a little bit interesting to me. Little bit interesting. What do you think, Teshal? What's going on here? Who's going to be the winner in this position? This will get sharp very soon, and I think Fabiano should have opted for a3. I had a very similar position as well one time, and then I played a3. So this could go either way. This could go either way. We gotta decide what's going on. Oof. Let's see. This is also very scary. And Nijat Pragyananda, well, it's a normal King's Indian. I guess Pragyananda's playing for a win. That's why he opted for King. And now we got some sort of fianchetto structure. White takes c6, queen b6. Nijat plays it normally. Bishop e3, queen d8 will probably be the most likely moves. You can put a queen on e2, defend c4. Nothing special here. The focus today is on Gukesh's game. Let's see if there have been any moves. Seems like we had a standard. I don't know if a6 was required just yet, but probably not too bad. You could have also played b6 and developed the bishop straight away. That's also a possibility. But a6 now, I've seen a very similar position. So black is threatening b5, right? One thing you could do is you could retreat the bishop first, you could take, or you could play queen e2. All of these are possibilities, and now white has to decide which one to choose. Even e4 is possible. Even e4 is possible. But the thing is, if white takes and the queens get traded, the chances of Nakamura winning this game decrease. So Naka has to keep pieces on the board. So I'm predicting he doesn't take on c5. Because dc5 does offer a slight edge. However, it is difficult for Nakamura to win that one. Hey Ram, how's it going? Hello Teshal as well. Welcome to the chat, you all. I know I got a little bit late today, but I'm finally here. And it seems like Nakamura has to make a decision to take on c5 or not. Objectively, he gets the best slight edge with dc5. But he needs to be very precise with positional play there. He gets a little bit less edge if he plays bishop a2 here, but he needs to be less precise. So now he has to make a trade-off. Being objectively better or being practical, he has to make the trade-off. Now my guess is if you are playing for a win as white, you want to keep queens on the board here. So my thought would be that Nakamura doesn't take on c5. I'm not sure how satisfied he would be. Queen takes d1, rook takes d1, bishop takes c5. I'm not sure how satisfied he would be with this position, even though white has a slight edge after b4, because it's a symmetrical position and white is a little bit ahead in development. So white has a slight edge, but this can be really, really equal. Will Nakamura want to grind this position or not? That's the question he's asking. And psychologically speaking, I doubt he'll take. So he'll have to go for bishop a2, allow b5, and then try for something like queen e2 perhaps. And you try to put the rook on d1, you try to achieve e4. This is what my thought is. But let me know in the comments what you think until I fix out the chess.com bug. Nakamura has made a move. We'll find out what it is. Fabiano has played f4. Wow. Both of these guys are really trying to win here. Fabiano wants to trap the bishop, but black can take, and if we take with the g pawn, then bishop g4 is there, so you have to take with the e pawn, trying to play f5. And wow, we don't know what's going on here. Bishop g4, rook e1 check, king goes to f8, knight goes to f3. What is going on here? What is going on here? The knight can go to e5 or it can go to g5. Is it scary for Nepo, or will these two bishops tell the tale? Wow, we'll just have to wait and find out. There is nothing else we can do. Just been studying for exams. Same, Ram, same. And now I'm here to commentate because it's the final round. We can't miss it. We can't miss it. Come on, man. This is getting exciting. Sharp position in Nepo versus Fabi. Gukesh and Hikaru could make history for winning 6 games. Yes, they absolutely could. This is an epic battle today. I mean, I love how Fabiano and Nepo have played this position, both going aggressive. All because Gukesh won the lead yesterday. So, these final 4 airbenders, who's gonna emerge victorious? Well, the bets are on Gukesh because he's the leader. And if he wins, he could potentially be the youngest world champion ever. Youngest world champion ever, guys. This is not a joke anymore. This is not a joke. Who knows? Gukesh could be dominating like Carlsen in the future, and we might have to add a new player in the GOAT list. So, if Gukesh even makes a draw, at least he's guaranteed himself a spot in the tie breaks. So, all Gukesh has to do is not lose today's game. As long as he can manage that, things look fine for him. Until then, we'll just have to wait. Da-da-da, da-da-da. But now, no. Hikaru still has to make the decision, and this is the critical moment for him to take or you see he's burning time for a right reason. He knows objectively DC5 is the best. But then you have to be grinding like a positional stockfish monster. Can't do that. So the practical choice is to play bishop a2 or to play e4. If he wants to throw Gukesh off a little bit, e4 is the option. But if he wants to be very, very practical, bishop a2 is the option. Till then, I'm curious what Nepo has to do about this position. Fabian spent some time playing f4. And it's a playable move. He could have also played a3. But then bishop d6 or bishop c3, that's what we have to make the decision. Bishop d6, I think f4 works a little bit better. Because now your bishop is blocked by this pawn. So I think it works a little bit better. So I guess you would have had to take, and then as more pieces get traded, the chances of winning decrease, right? So, I mean, here black could play queen c7, Fabiano could play knight e2, long castles, and perhaps Fabiano thought this was difficult to win, and I would agree. I would agree. So f4 doesn't seem like a bad practical choice at all. The question is, could you have played knight e2 and then taken with the knight? Another question. Knight e2, let's say queen c7. Now I could have played g4, the rook is unprotected, h4. And well, g3, h3, I'm not too sure, but a3, bishop d6, right? And even this looks very solid for white. So I guess Fabiano has assessed correctly that f4 needs to be played, and he does play it. He does play it. Why do you say that, Tishal? I don't think so. I think the form which Dingliren is in right now, I think Gukesh has a great chance to beat him. So I would not bet on that. I would not bet on that. I would think if Gukesh wins today, he also wins the world championship. Because the resources he would have and the amount of hard work this guy does, I highly doubt Dingliren would win. So until then, we have to wait for a decision. Until then, feel free to ask me some questions, guys, or if you want me to show you some line, you want to discuss some middle game topics, anything until we wait for these guys to make their moves. Until we have some clarity on what these guys want to do. You know, Gukesh can always hire a better team should there be a need, but considering his performance in the candidates, I don't think his team is any worse. Well, Ding's team was essentially just Richard Rapport, who can find some clever opening ideas, but that's about it. And Gukesh can always hire new people as soon, and he'll have the financial means to do that. So I would not count it as a factor. But Gukesh is very focused, he has good nerves, and he's very disciplined. So I would bet on Gukesh. Also, Ding Liren is only defending the title. Gukesh is there to win the title. So Gukesh has more motivation than Ding. You know, Ding knows he cannot dominate like Carlsen. So even being world champion once is probably sufficient for him. We will still remember him as a great player, but Gukesh will be remembered as the youngest world champion. So Gukesh has more incentive to win the thing, and so he will be hungrier. And well, who wins when one of the person is hungrier? The hungrier one, of course. That's why I would bet on Gukesh, not Ding. But now let's focus on Nepo's reply after f4. Your game on CBI against GM? Yeah, Knight H. Okay, wow, this was long time ago. I don't remember. Yeah, I remember this game vaguely. I remember this game vaguely, and I think this was my first ever draw against a grandmaster. I don't think I had ever drawn before. So this was a very special moment. This was in the Goa Open, if I can remember. Goa Open, I was playing Grandmaster Levon Babujian, and he was probably one of the first Grandmasters I was playing ever in a classical tournament. And then I was 1900, he was like 2400, 2500. And somehow I just keep on attacking and attacking, and it turns out I have a great position. And I was eventually even winning, but I just did not realize because, first time against a grandmaster making a draw. I was a young child. I got too excited, and I agreed to a draw. Although now I would have definitely pushed for a win. You learn these things with experience. So now I agree to draw much less often. Yeah, Levon Babujian, not Levon Aronian. That's different. That's different. Not Aronian. Not Aronian. It was 90-30. No increment after 40 moves, if I can remember correctly. If there was increment after 40 moves, then I would have probably played for a win. But as far as I remember, I was in time trouble. And then as soon as I had the draw, I think Sagar Shah invited me for a interview. I should say Sir Sagar Shah. He deserves a lot more respect. Sir Sagar Shah invited me for an interview, which I think was a really nice gesture by him. After that game, I think I had maybe an above average tournament, but nothing special, like, or average tournament. I can't remember. But yes, that was the highlight of the tournament. I think I lost to Ratnakaran there, or did I? Yeah, I played Ratnakaran there, the Indian Tal as they call him. Think I lost to him, but yeah. Otherwise, I have had the chance to play Nihal at Sunway Sidges. That was a good memory. I've had the chance to play Arjun Irgase. That was in Commonwealth. I played him. Have you ever met Anand? No, I have not met Anand myself. No, strange, but I haven't. I've met Gukesh. I mean, I'll tell you what, I was playing CBSE Nationals and Gukesh was like 10 or 11 and he was still like 2000, 2100, and I was 1100 at the time. So he was like 1000 points above me and he was still like 2 years younger than me. So that was very shocking for me when I first went to CBSE Nationals. Like imagine someone 2 years younger than you and you're already like 12 or 13 and a 10-year-old kid is 1000 points higher than you. That was a shocker. That was a shocker. But I don't think I've even. I may have seen Pragyananda somewhere. But yeah, I've played against Nihal, never against Anand, like never seen Anand in real life as well. Not that I can recall. Played against Sadhwani, all these Indian prodigies. Played against Aditya Mittal a couple of times, 3 times perhaps. Yeah. But never against Anand, yeah. Not even Hare Krishna actually. Or with it. Haven't seen with it in a tournament before. But those were some fun memories, yeah. Now it's just more exams, less chess. The audio just started. Let's see, there have been any updates. Oh, wow, that's a question, but I'm not best equipped to play, best equipped to answer that question because I have never had to face that situation and I'm not a grandmaster. But I can make some great predictions for that question. You would have to go through the. Now, this comes down to a little bit of game theory. You would have to see that if you're playing for a must win situation, and so is your opponent, what did he do last time when he had a similar position? That's what you would have to analyze in great detail with your seconds. So let's say if Nepo was in a must-win situation ever before as black pieces, how did he play? This is what Fabiano would have to analyze and prepare accordingly. That's the best thing he can do. Then also Fabiano has to assess his risk tolerance, like how sharp is he willing to play if he's in a must-win situation, and based on that he has to come on a compromise between playing for a win while managing risk. This comes with the help of seconds and experience. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. So if Fabiano knows that Nepo is an aggressive player in these type of situations, Fabiano can try to play openings which actually provoke Nepo into making risky decisions and take it from there. This is how it could work. Same goes for any player. Like it's a general example. But let's say if you're playing against a positional player who is in a must-win situation, then you have to try to make things sharp yourself. So that's what I would think. But I'm not an expert on this matter. You might want to consider a grandmaster like Anish Giri, for example, on this. Prime Hikaru or Prime Levon Aronian? That's an absolutely brilliant question. Prime Hikaru. But wait, let me answer this one first. I mean, I've seen games of both of them, Prime Hikaru and Prime Aronian. This is a hard question. I don't actually know. It's an amazing question, but oof, Aronian was a beast and so was Hikaru. Yeah, really hard to answer that one. But I probably would think Aronian. Probably would think Aronian. No, you're not. No, Isomaniac, you're getting me wrong. You're not going for what your opponent played in previous matches. You're trying to see the kind of decisions your opponent was making in those type of situations. Was he taking excessive risk in some positions? Was he taking less than required risk in some positions? Was he, playing in a way which was not involving sacrifices? You're looking at the type of decision making, not just the moves themselves. Because of course no person at that level would repeat any mistakes twice. That would not happen. Hi candy shop owner, haven't seen you in a while, but great seeing you. Were you there last stream or not? Last stream was round 12. Can't remember. I know you were there in one before that. But anyways, great to see you again. Great to see you again. Hikaru in Blitz and Levon in Classical. Maybe. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, I think that's a nice way to put it. Yeah, absolutely. Because you guys don't know how good Levon is in spotting tactics. Like Levon is so underrated. It's actually crazy. Actually crazy. Welcome to the chat, Keshav. Awesome to see here. See you here. Gukesh game, well, Hikaru opted castling a6 and queen e2. So he went for the bishop a2 line, but he changed the move order. I was thinking he would play bishop a2, b5, and then queen e2. He changed the move order, which is fine. And he's now going to put a rook on d1 at some point. So this position looks very interesting. And this is a standard QGD position, and I'm sure Gukesh is familiar with this. He just has to figure out some move order things. Now, an interesting point here is that I would have thought Gukesh's best move is bishop b cd4. Those are the standard choices. So I've seen c rook d1, and I've seen a move like knight d7 before. And if you take with the rook, for example, then bishop b7, queen just goes to b6, and your attack is not very strong. If you take with the pawn, now you have d5 possibility. So this could probably be something. The question here is, does Gukesh have a better option after rook d1? Even if you start with bishop b7, I think you can take with the pawn on. Taking with the knight, the queen just moves, right? So you take with the pawn to get d5 in. And can Gukesh play knight d5 or not? How to assess this position? That would determine what we should play. This is an isolated pawn position, but white does seem like having some attacking chances. By the way, feel free to let me know your thoughts on prime Gukesh or sorry, prime Levon or prime Hikaru. No, I'm not talking about the Blitz one. I was just talking about the candidates one. No worries, Candy Shop Owner. Great to see you here. Humpy drew in a winning position in round 12 after you finished the stream. That was surprising. I don't remember that, but very well possible. Very well possible. So the question here is CD4. The thing is, Rook D1, it's hard to judge. It seems like white is getting quick development. That's why you perhaps. Now, Engine suggests this weird move, which I can't remember if I've seen this before or not. But B4 is the Engine's top suggestion, or the Engine I have in front of myself. Stockfish 16 might not like this one so much. Stockfish 11 does, which what I have right now. AB4, CB4, knight A4. As far as I know, the knight on A4 is supposed to be strong. Because when I played a similar position as black, I had trouble when the knight was on A4. I had trouble. So I think this is actually good for white. More than Engine claims it is. That's why I don't actually know. I'll have to think about this one. What we should play as black. The first question to me is why not? If I play bishop b7, do I have to worry about taking? Bishop takes and b4, is that something that I need to be worried about? I don't see it directly. Bishop b7 take b4, bishop goes back, and probably you have e4, which is good. Achieving e4 is always good. So you want to minimize the effect of that. You want to minimize the effect of that. Yeah. How's the school curriculum in India? Tishal, are you not from India? Where are you from? I would have thought the entire audience is Indian in the chat. But the school curriculum in India, like, what sort of things do you want me to explain? It's rigorous, of course. There are exams, proper exams. We get judged. You're from Ethiopia. Oh, nice. Wait, Ram, you're not from India as well. Where are you from? Nice. Wow, okay. We got diversity in the chat. Let's go. But it's rigid. I mean, what aspects are you talking about? If you can be a bit more elaborative on that question, I am probably able to answer better. I'll probably be. Oh, are you from UK actually? No way. No way. Well, it does feel like that now, doesn't it? Does feel like that now. Wow, we got some Indians, we got some international, sorry, we got some UK people, Britishers, and we got some Ethiopians in the chat. Let's go. But yeah, I mean, the question here is bishop b7. I think the possibility of e4. Does Engine like that? Yeah, Engine loves e4, as I pointed out. Because I've played similar positions before, I know what kind of things we should be looking at. E4 is the best move, and once you get e4, the bishop is stuck in front of this pawn, the knight cannot go to d5, rook is coming to d1, the bishop will get kicked out. This could get bad for Gukesh. So bishop b7 is out. Can't play that. That's how you make decisions during the game as well. From your candidates list, bishop b7 is out. The choice is between b4, cd4, and a move like knight d7. Okay, let's explore knight d7 for a second. There is still e4, so I don't like this again. There is direct e4, so knight d7 is out as well. That means the choice is only between two moves. Only two moves, guys. You either play b4, try to mitigate the effect of e4, or you take on d4. So let's say I take on d4, rook d1, and now I play b4. Does this work? Well, the engine doesn't know, neither do I. A b4, knight c6. I attack it this way. E d4, knight takes b4, bishop b1, bishop b7. Seems like I've gotten control of the d5 square, and it's always good to control the pawn, the square in front of the isolated pawn. So practically, I think this is the best decision for black. But spotting this b4 knight c6 idea is not easy at all. You want to put your knight on b4 so that you can control d5. If Gukesh finds it, it would be awesome. The book, the teaching system? What do you mean? Ronak, welcome to the chat. Never seen you here before. Awesome. We're getting new viewers. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Hopefully you enjoy the stream, Ronak. I'm improving as a streamer, but stay within the journey. You will be remembered as one of the OGs as well, should you stick around for a long time. But yeah, so far we are discussing the best move for black, which is Gukesh right now. And to me, it seems like the best option and the knight c6 idea, practically speaking. The question which arises is direct b4 better? As I told you, I don't know. I think knight on a4 can be annoying due to the c5 control, and you can never gain your queen to b6. I used to think the knight on a4 is weak, but when I played a game and the knight on a4 was actually strong in a very similar position. Although you mitigate you actually prevent e4. There can still be bishop b1, for example, or there can be rook d1, knight c5. Let's say knight d7, bishop b1. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I don't know. Still looks a bit comfortable for white. b3, bishop b2. Not sure. I would bet on white here. So I think the practical option, which I can now even recall seeing a similar position, is to take rook d1 and b4. This is the most practical option. I don't care what engine says. This is the most practical option. So engine might agree to disagree. You're going for a FIDE rated tournament. What should I do for the first time? Well, I remember my first FIDE rated tournament. I didn't even know what rating system was. I just knew that if you beat rated players, you gain some rating. I'm assuming you are unrated. You basically have nothing to lose. So you can attack as much as you want to these high rated players. And they'll get scared. You know, when you're unrated, your strength is unpredictable. So you can attack as much as you want. And you can take like more risks than them. Because for them, it's an embarrassment if they lose to an unrated player. The idea is to scare them. That's what I did as well in my first FIDE tournament. I attacked as much as I could. I scared my opponents. And I had some pretty good results. Well, in my second FIDE tournament, really. The first FIDE tournament I played, I didn't even know what FIDE was. So I didn't know what I was doing. But the second FIDE tournament, which I consider my first because I actually knew what FIDE meant, I attacked as much as I could. And that's a great strategy. You want to attack. What should you prepare? In general, you should know your responses to basic lines. For example, if you are an e4 player, 1e4, you should know the response to e5 and Sicilian first of all. You should know responses to your Sicilians and e5. That's the main one. That's seen most often. Then if you have time, you should prepare French and Caro-Kann as white as well. You want to have at least preparation against these four openings. As black, let's say you're playing e4, e5, you want to have preparation against Gico Piano and Roy Lopez. Scotch, maybe you can wing it during the game, but you should have preparation against Roy Lopez and Gico Piano. Then as d4, for example, if you're playing the Queen's Gambit declined, you should know the Bishop g5 and Bishop f4 variation. You can wing Carlsbad perhaps, but you should know the absolute main lines. The point is, you should know the main lines of your openings. Sidelines you can probably wing. And at your level, your opponents would not know much theory as well. I would say try to outcalculate them, because at your level, people are making lots of calculation mistakes. So if you can solve a few, like quite a few puzzles and polish your calculation, that would be awesome. You polish your calculation, you attack, good results come in. All right, has Gukesh made a move? Let's see if my prediction comes true. He takes on d4. Little bit risky decision, but perhaps possible. This is probably the second best move in my eyes. If you don't see the B, this is the second best move. Rook d1, and now the question is, what will he do? What will he do now? This is where he has to take another decision. Should he play knight d7, takes and knight b6? Or should he put a bishop on b7 first? The reason I don't like knight b6 is because there is knight e5, and you can't exchange this knight ever. Well, at least not without wasting some moves. Like if the knight was on d7, in some good situation you can take, but if the knight stands on b6, harder to achieve that. But like there could be rook lifts as well, which I really like. This is very concrete. Rook d3, rook g3, bishop h6 ideas. These are always scary in isolated pawn positions. Always look for rook lifts in IQP. IQP means isolated queen's pawn. What opening should I choose? My rating, my rating 15 something for white and black. If you are just starting out, right? It's your first tournament. You should. This is what a rook left is, Ram. You should play e4 as white, because it will give you the most attacking chances. Rook left is when you lift a rook up to the third rank or fourth rank mainly, and maneuver it towards the king. This is what's called a rook left. You bring your rook up and slide it across. Yeah, up and slide across. Yeah. So as white, definitely 1e4. That will give you most attacking chances. Yeah, I understand you, Ronak. 1e4 because it will give you more tactical opportunities and it would give you attacking chances. As black against e4, I would recommend you play solidly with e5. Chances are you don't know the subtleties of Sicilian, so you'll have to play solid as e5. Your opponents will get bored and then they'll make mistakes. Most likely, they'll run out of patience, and if you show enough patience, you'll win. Against d4, I would recommend you play Nimzo Indian, very solid opening. And you can watch a few videos online. Nimzo is not hard to understand, at least the fundamentals. Yeah, 13 is good enough. Like people are grandmasters at 13 these days. Yeah, of course, Isomaniac. Like people are grandmasters at 13, so just 13 doesn't mean anything in chess now. And so I would say as d4 play Nimzo, but if you can't play Nimzo, then go for simple QGD. Let's go to Nepo Fabi. Have there been any turn of events? Ooh. Ooh. Things got sharp after bishop g4. Apparently, Caruana had to play bishop e2, and now I'm trying to understand why. I think I do understand it. If you can exchange the bishops like this, if he takes, you take with the knight, so your knight is on a good square, you can achieve e4, but you gain the crucial f5 square, which is what I think is really important. Once your queen goes to f5, it can keep an eye on the king and it can attack g5 and h5. So bishop e2 was probably a better move. And the question is, if you play queen f6, I think you run into e4, right? You run into e4 pretty badly, since if you take, I take with the knight, and g5 and f6 both hang. So bishop e2 was an interesting option, but Caruana didn't probably like it for some reason. He played knight f3, which looks natural. But queen e7, apparently black could have taken first. But that opens up the e file, so I don't trust the engine here. Engine thinks gf4 was good for white. Good for black, but I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Let's say knight f3, queen e7, e4, you should open up the center because the king is there. Absolutely. Bishop c3, this happens to be a little bit of an error as engine tells me, but let's try to figure out why that's the case. Of course, you want to take with the queen now since you are castled. And what are black's options before we make any moves? He can take on e4, he can take on f4, he can play takes on f3. You would not want to long castle because first I can take or I can push. Long castling is of course bad. And you should always look at all the captures. I mean, d4 you always have to be aware of d5 tricks. That could be interesting. But okay, let's start with d4. Seems most natural, right? I take on e4, you play long castle, and then what do I do as white? Like engine claims an edge for white, but I'm trying to understand where that edge comes from. d4, bishop e4, long castle, what do? You can't play d5, the bishop hangs. So you have to protect the bishop, which means you can probably play rook e1. I want to play this rook because it gets rid of the pin. And then now I'm threatening knight takes g5. So if you take, I have bishop takes c6, which can become spicy. That means you can't allow that. So you have to play king b8. And if I play bishop takes c6, even the c file is open for my king. So that could be dangerous. I think this is bad now since you have queen d6 and then you play rook c8. Pretty great for you. But if you take on g5 now, I don't know. I don't feel this is easy for black anymore. You have won a free pawn, d5 can come. I like this position for white. So maybe that's why bishop c3 was a little bit of a mistake. What is your Leech's ID? Link page. Link to what? My Leech's ID is my name. It's Tanmay Chopra. But I'm more active on chess.com. I am more active on chess.com. My chess.com rating is significantly higher than my Leech's rating. But link to what? Zoom link? Bhargava, I don't know how to set up the thing yet. Like, I would not know where to put your thing. And the stream could get awkward. You should have told me this before the thing, no? I mean, I can try, but it could become really awkward. I haven't still figured out like how to make it work. But if you had told me like 2 hours ago, I would have definitely sorted something out. Now it will become a little bit awkward. All right. Yeah, if we go into a tiebreak, yes. Tiebreak is not today, is it? Tiebreak would be tomorrow, right? I would assume. Yeah. That would only make sense. Yeah. Okay. Until then, wait, is there a change in position? Seems like who has not gone for. Wait. Seems like Hikaru did not play the best move rook d1 for some reason. I don't know what he didn't like, but he took on d4 directly. Seems to be a little bit suspicious. Gokesh plays the best move b4, and now he finds the knight c6 idea, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to see Gukesh is playing well. He's still in his element. Looks awesome. Knight c6, once you take on b4, you get solid bind over d5. This is what we want. The knight on b5 is pretty much, on b4 is pretty much immovable. And if you can't play b5, can you? There is a b5. This actually gets better for black. A b5, if you take with the knight, knight b4 attacking the bishop, you can't move the bishop, the rook hangs, so you have to play knight c3 back, and there comes probably bishop a6, which could be annoying. Engine doesn't like it for some reason. Oh, there is bishop c4. Yeah. Bishop c4, bishop takes and rook takes a8, of course. All right, so that's not possible. Knight c3, then that means I can go queen c7 first and then play bishop a6. So after rook takes a8, my queen doesn't hang. Okay, that's pretty good, and that would be awesome for Gukesh. Until then, b4, excellent move. Naka has to take. There is only one option really, but that's about it. Top engine move is bc3. Is it actually? Are in London. I am in London indeed. Magnus is commentator on Chess 24. Guys, I can't commentate better than Magnus, but I would appreciate if you would still watch my commentary, although, like, I'm offering you no more incentive. uh, but yeah, I mean, if the viewer count increases here, I would really appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, Magnus is a better player and a commentator. Until then, let's see. What's this? Like, is it actually better to take with the B? Really? Surely no, right? It's queen takes c3, right? Engine on my screen says queen c3, and I would expect queen c3 as well. Like, that's what looks most natural to me as well. Is it actually pc3 on a higher depth? I don't understand that actually. If it's actually the case, I think white's king becomes too weak there. You have to be joking. Really, should I put my engine on a higher depth? Is it actually bc3? Guys, I don't understand. bc3 means small b means that pawn captures on c3, and capital B means the bishop captures on c3. So which one are you talking about? So you think Injin's best move was bishop takes c3 exactly, like on a higher depth? Is that what you're claiming? I wouldn't think it's the best move. I mean, it's possible, but I would have thought it's better to keep the bishop pair. I'm a big fan of. Yeah, pawn takes c3 can't be right. Either your engine is wrong or chess is too complicated for me. One of the two things. Either you're looking at a different position, your engine is something like from 1960s, or chess is too complicated for me. The last one is the most likely scenario. But yeah, I don't understand bc3. I would not have thought that bc3 works. Seems like your king is too weak. Like de4, bishop e4, I like black much more than I do white. Seems like everything gets captured and then black just castles long and lives a good life. I am not a fan of white's position here. Absolutely not. So has to be queen c3. I mean, your engine is lying to itself. Your engine is not being truthful to itself. Yeah, you might want to change your PC or something. Oh, wow. This is crazy. I mean, if BC3 is actually the best move, I would really love to know why. But I highly, highly doubt. Until then, any improvements in this game? No. I don't know what Naka's thinking because he has to really take. Playing a move like knight e4 doesn't look like it's in the spirit of the position. I could just. And I don't know. If you take, I could probably just play knight d7. If you take, I take back with the knight. And I put the knight on d5. I put a bishop on b7. Wow, there is knight g5 and some sacrificial opportunities here. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this what Naka's thinking about? Bishop b7, perhaps? I start with this one then. And if you play knight g5 now, yeah, no more sacrifices. I stick a bishop up your d5 square. What did you think? What did you think I was gonna say? I stick a bishop up the d5 square. Yeah. But well, yeah, I mean Gukesh seems like he's figured this out. I mean, I can sense he's in his element. I can sense it, especially after CD4, ED4. If he's finding B4, I think he knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing. Until then, what is Nepo doing? Well, do you guys want to see Fabiano win or do you guys want to see Nepo win? Whose side are we on? I want to see Fabi win. What about you guys? Whose side are we on? Whose side are we actually on? Fabi deserves it a little bit more than Nepo, won't you say? But although Nepo has shown some good performance uh, in the last few years. No, only Gukesh I understand. I understand that point. But within Fabiano and Nepo, if one were to win, who would it be? Who would be your choice? Only Gukesh I understand. I'll be back in a second, guys. Let me just check something. Okay, never mind, never mind. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Then Hikaru. Doesn't seem like anyone wants Fabiano to win here. Okay, fair enough. It's only me and Fabiano. Okay. What else? Like, I mean, do we want to look at Pragyananda? Let's just look for the sake of it. It started off as King's Indian. Now we are into a Benoni. Explain me how all this happened. Somehow white is still better. Like these nuts look scary, but they aren't actually. E4, rook e1, takes. C5, okay. Bishop f1, defending the pawn. Bishop e6, knight d5. Yeah, too soon for that. You had to give up a pawn. Knight d5, you actually put a weak pawn. You put a pawn on a weak square. You never want to do that. If the square is weak like this, you put a square, you put a pawn like this in very exceptional circumstances. Like now the weak square is covered by a pawn, so it's not weak anymore. You do that in rare circumstances or in very concrete positions. Here, Nijat had to sacrifice a pawn with knight d2. Queen takes b2 and knight b5. I think this would have been a more practical choice. But yeah, I mean, if you don't believe in it, you play knight d5. There is no other option. So Pragyananda posed a great decision to Nijat. He took knight e4. Better was probably queen b4. You attack c4 directly, right? But then bishop d2, queen a4, and c4 has huge pressure. Can't play rook c1, a2 hangs. And if we play queen c2, there is knight f3, of course, and you win the game. So queen b4 is a more, like, probably a better try, but knight e4 doesn't seem too wrong. What's the idea with knight e4? To play f5, gain more space on the king. That's about it. Prag was negative 0.7 against Indian. Yeah, already, like Prag, both of them have nothing to lose. They're not making into candidates. They're just doing what they want. They're just doing what they want. I mean, yeah, why would you not try King's Indian if you have nothing? Might as well. Hikaru's so dedicated to chess, his recaps, preparation, engaging his fans, streaming, and other stuff. So he's doing some inspirational stuff for generations to follow, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. I mean, amongst the streamers, he has had probably the biggest impact, right? He and Levy. They have had the biggest impact in terms of attracting, people actually watching chess. I mean, so has ChessBase India, but Hikaru started it first. I think Hikaru was before ChessBase India, if I can recall correctly. I mean, Hikaru gained popularity before ChessBase India, if I'm not mistaken. But I actually know Levy as well from the time. You are better than Levy. When you say that, are you making a statement? Are you asking a question? And do you mean in terms of playing chess or commentating? So there are many aspects to that statement. But if you're telling me that, then I take it as a huge compliment. That's awesome to hear. But yeah, chess wise or streaming wise, I would doubt I'm better than him streaming wise. All aspects? Oh, wow. Wow. Even I fail to believe that. I don't think I'm better than him at commentating. I mean, I might be at some point, but I think he's still much better than me at commentating. And he's much better at making content generally. The only thing is that if he were to make content for. No, I was about to say something very suspicious. If he were to make content which is more suitable for adult chess audience, his current content is not targeted towards that. His current content is targeted towards more of teenagers, I would say, because the kind of entertainment it provides is more suitable for teenagers than it's for adults. You think so? You think so? Oh, that's that's awesome to hear. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a good motivation boost for me. Yeah, it's just because I only try to use engine when it's absolutely necessary. Like if the position requires really concrete calculation, then it's better that we, check with the engine. But of course, sometimes use your own brain as well. But if it's more positional concepts, it makes more sense for me to explain you my thinking, doesn't it? So depends position to position. I try to maintain a balance. Hope you guys enjoy that. Let's see. Knight e4 by Nakamura. So he goes for this little bit. I don't know if we can call it sketchy. It's not sketchy, but little bit. What's the word here? So you're playing something which is not in the spirit of the position, but still probably playable. What would be the correct word for it? Let me know if you guys have a word for it. I don't. What would you call such an idea? Except unusual. Give me a better word than unusual. Don't say unorthodox. That's a similar thing. And it's not unorthodox. No, knight d7 seems obvious, but there was a problem. You could go Kasparov style with knight and aim for some sacrifices here. This could look scary. Like knight b6, knight e5. Are there sacrifices here or not? That's what we have to determine. Like you could plug a knight here. Probably possible, but a b4, knight b4. Would you like these knights with the bishop attacking the king? Or would you really calculate precisely? Like imagine what's the move if black plays h6. Like the move here is actually crazy. Oh wow, that's awesome, Candy Shop owner. I love that. H6, the move is really practical and really awesome. And I explained this a few minutes ago into the stream. What kind of moves are you looking for in an isolated pawn position? No, knight h7, knight takes h7, right? Crazy. And it's actually in the spirit of the position. Yeah, Teshal, that's true. That's true. That is true. Caruana is, yeah. In if Caruana is having a good day or if he's in good form, yes. Like prime Caruana is probably better than prime Eronian and prime Hikaru. But guys, find the move here. We can't miss this. This move is actually something. And you should know these ideas in the isolated queen pawn openings. Because isolated queen pawn openings actually rely on these ideas. Like without that, you can't gain enough attack. So I'll give like 30 more seconds before you give me your option. But Engine's evaluation just keeps moving up and up. The move here is absolutely stunning. Kinda in a style of Alpha Zero, I would say. So, have we got Alpha Zeros in the chat? Let me know, let me know. I mean, yeah. It's hard to see this move from a distance, both as white and as black. But you should be actively looking for this kind of move. Very common in IQB. And the move is, don't want to spoil it because it's a pleasure to find it. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Guys, come on, give me something, give me something. Be as aggressive as you can possibly be. The move is phenomenal. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Okay. And personally, bishop h7. No, guys. Bishop h7, knight takes h7, right? You'll just lose a piece. Knight f7 looks interesting. It's probably the second best move. It's harder to make it work. The best move is actually this one. This is going to blow your minds. Wait, knight h7 works? Wait, knight h7 works? Oh, shoot. There is queen e4. I didn't even see this. Ah, this is possible. Yeah, knight f6. Queen takes 8, queen takes d4. Okay, it can get a little bit messy, but it's probably possible. Sorry about that. Sorry for discarding your suggestion right away. I didn't spot queen e4 yet. Now I saw it. Like when you guys said knight f7 again, knight h7 again, it occurred to me that queen e4 is possible. The move actually here, which I think it's most in the spirit of position and an absolute shocker, is rook a3. I think this is an absolute shocker. You can take the knight, and after bishop takes, who's gonna stop rook h3, bishop f6 and queen h5? Who's gonna stop this? Who's gonna carry the boats? Who's gonna carry the boats? Who? I know it's a sacrifice, but like, how do you prevent the attack? You guys know David Goggins, right? Can Magnus beat Deep Blue? Yeah, Deep Blue. Oh, yeah, Kasparov beat. Yeah, Magnus can. Yeah, Magnus can. Oh, it would seem like it. It doesn't quite actually. Rook h3. So let's say you make a move like bishop b7, random move, right? Ta-da, ta-da, queen d3. And most likely, I'm going to get rid of this knight somehow. And that will probably with knight g4. So I play knight g4, I take on f6 with the knight, you take with the knight, I remove another defender, and boom, in I come. So queen d3 would be suspicious. You can't would be really great. You can't play g6. I can sack. In comes the mate. So if you play a move like g6, I have knight c6. Queen moves. I'm going to take and play queen e5, I think. And I want to get rid of this defender. Then I can get this knight. And if this knight moves, I have always rook h8. This is the kind of situation I'm hoping for. So if you play a move like rook a7, I want to get rid of this knight. I can play bishop e4. Once this knight is gone, and the king is gone. So rook a3 is probably the best idea in my opinion. I mean, Engine might dislike it, but if I spot rook a3 in the game, I'm playing it. If I spot rook a3, there is no one stopping me from playing it. Knight h7 is also very tempting, like, I mean, knight h7 is, yeah, cool as well. Now that you show me the queen e4 idea, I didn't spot it immediately. Nepo trades his bishop for knight. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I just thought this position was really interesting to be missed. Like, rook a3 idea was too good to be not shown on the board. Nepo. 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 This guy. Okay, he is Nepo cracking under pressure already. Is Nepo really feeling it? I think he's getting into his world championship mode. He's starting to choke, I would seem. But then you ask yourself, like, what does he do if he does not take? We saw that d4 doesn't work. We saw long castles doesn't work. You lose the pawn or you lose this pawn. So what does he? In one sense, he didn't have much. So this move was like more or less forced, I would say. He understood that de4, bishop e4. Let me fix the bug. He understood that de4, bishop e4. Long castle, rook e1. He did not have a good defense against bishop c6 and knight g5. So it made sense, probably it made sense to take on f3. And well, Caruana can take on f3 or he can take on d5. This is actually possible as well. Bishop d5, rook e1, bishop e6 and f5. Or d5. I told you there could be d5 tricks. These are possible. So Fabiano has an interesting option here, like with ed5. Oh, I forgot to show what happens if he takes on d1. How could I forget that? There is rook e1. And I know white is down of some material, but let's say bishop g4, you go back, and I played d6. If you take, I take, and my queen gets in, you could lose a bit more material. And if you play queen e6, that's just terrible since I get in d5 and I get queen takes h8. So in one sense, you have to take. I take. King moves to, let's say, d8, for example. Queen e7 check, king c8. Even though you have two rooks and a knight, which is more than enough material against a queen, the pieces are actually paralyzed. You can't get them out. So this might still work out for Fabiano. Crazy line, crazy line. Three pieces for a queen and two of them are rooks. So absolutely crazy, but queen takes f7 g6 is actually brilliant. What is the line after d5? You mean ed5 or d5 elsewhere? Where exactly? If you can let me know the precise move order, that would be good. But here, yeah, Fabiano is spoiled for choice. I mean, I think he would keep it simple with gf3, but if Fabiano is really confident in himself, he'll take on d5. But I think the stakes are too high to play ed5. I would be really impressed if he does. But considering what the stakes are, he'll just take on f3. That's my thought. One question I had was like, what happens after queen f6? Like, you attack here and here. f5, right? Simply f5, I think. Seems okay. Yeah, f5, e5 seems good. h5 will be a weakness in the long run. Oof. What else? What else? Yeah, okay. This one I think we'll have to figure out. Like, we'll have to wait. Until then, we have ba3, ba3 as predicted. And now the move which Gukesh has to decide on is bishop b7 or knight d7. I think bishop b7 is better. But knight d7 can't be too wrong. It's just knight d7, white has this possibility of knight g5, which is in the spirit of Kasparov. Kasparov had a whole line in Caro-Kann with knight g5. It's already on the board. Let me see. Okay, nothing here. Maybe in Fabi's game. Look, GF3 was played. Fabiano keeping it practical, keeping it low key, as they say, keeping it low key. But now, okay, few options again for white. Take with the pawn, take with the bishop, or do not take at all. Oh, Nepo's giving Fabiano some cool options. He's making him take some decisions. Take with the pawn, bishop, or not take at all. Crazy, right? Ah, wow. Like, I would have to think for quite a few minutes if this was my game. I would not be sure instantly. But if I didn't see anything, like anything special, I would just take with the pawn. That's the bailout move. Fe4 is the bailout. Question is bishop takes e4 better or not? I don't think rook e1 is better because long castled. I doubt this is good. Rook e4, the queen moves. So that doesn't make sense. That's what I would eliminate. The question for me would be to take on e4 with the pawn or the bishop. Engine says another move, bishop c2, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, I mean, this is a very high level move if it actually is correct. Like, bishop c2, hard to understand this one. The move for me would be either fe4 or bishop e4, but I don't know which one. I would need to calculate for some time and then I would have to figure out. So one thing I would be looking at is, let's say, fe4 long castles. I would be looking at if I have d5, which I don't think I do. One variation I can probably think of is, let's say, long castle d5, just king b8. I thought dc6 rook c8. Doesn't this work? Oh, now there is bishop c2. Oh, I can't take with the rook because h8 hangs. Okay, sure. So d5, I have to take on f4. Almost the only move. And then I can probably go for a queen trade, right? And be fine. Yeah, I think queen trade I'm fine. I think then the pawns can be okay. Maybe knight c5 as well, but queen c5 or knight c5 I think solves some of my problems. Possible. Still white has isolated pawns, so white always has a slight edge. Let's say e5. This reminds me of Fabiano Alireza. So yeah, this is still better for white. Fe4 seems possible. D5 is not engine suggestion but looks practical enough to me. There's also F5 and you can make a pawn mass here, but F6, what do you do? Bishop C2, rook E1 and probably E5 ideas, right? Yeah, that's also okay. So Fe4 is of course the bailout and safe and secure. Bishop E4 on the other hand, wow, this is a move. This is one hell of a move. Long castle D5 works, I think, stronger because bishop keeps pressure here. So I think d5 would be awesome here. So you would not castle. Then if you would take, engine shows me like I would have thought gf4 is the move. Engine says you can play g4. Forget about this pawn, play g4. Try for this one. h4. And you play rook e1 again. The same idea that we were discussing. Put the rook here and if long castle you have bishop c6. Okay, interesting positions. But yeah, fe4 is always the bailout. Alireza game is over. It was a very short draw. It ended in like 5 minutes. Very short draw. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Very hard decision for Fabiano. Both look so good. You know, it's easier to make a decision between two moves when one of them is bad and one of them is good. Much harder when both of them are good. So hard to assess which one's better. This is where experience plays a lot of role. So if since Fabiano has way too much experience, I would assume he's capable of taking with the bishop. But you know, considering the stakes, he might take with the pawn. Yeah, Alireza won the tournament with his fashion. Yeah, he didn't even come close. I mean, imagine organizing your own tournaments to qualify for candidates and then not even trying to do something special. That's what he did. That's didn't he? Organized his own tournaments so that he could get rating over Wesley, and then didn't even try in the candidates. Maybe tried for a couple of rounds and then just gave up. That's literally what happened. Ali Reza won the tournament with his shoes. Ah, yeah, the. Well, I guess. Well, now we hope his shoes actually had something because then he would have had a better chance of winning. Clearly, he was playing very fairly. Nah, I mean, yeah. Stakes are too high to act sketchy in this tournament, if you know what I mean. And Ali Reza, well, he genuinely has the strength. Well, Isomaniac, if you do that, where do you put your king? Your king is out open in the center. My king can always hide on even. Where does your king hide? You can't hide on f8 because I always have d5 trickery. Short castle? My rook stands on h1. No, you can't short castle. I didn't analyze bishop c2 line because I don't even understand it. I mean, what c2 here? Like, takes here, bishop c2. This actually is a crazy move. And the only guess I have is that after fe4, d5, your queen does not get pinned to the king. That's the only thing I can think of. So, for example, like after long castle, Injun loves fe4. And then after gf4, I'm wondering if d5 is preferred. Not yet. Can I play d5 now? I really want to play d5. Knight e4, not a big fan. So, I mean, could I bring a rook to e1 and then play d5? Just king b8. So, practically speaking, not easy to make it work. Here you have to play a move like queen f3, which is very hard to find. Or queen a5, which is also not particularly easy. Or king b1, which is the best move. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, I mean, I thought the most natural move was rook e1. But apparently king b8 doesn't give enough advantage. Strange how engines behave. Rook e1 looks so natural. Seems like you can achieve d5, but engine says, not today, son. Takes, queen d6, and there is nothing. Apparently. Okay, can I try... Let's say I try queen f3. I put pressure here, I defend e4. Let's say you play king b8. What do I do now? What's my actual plan? Okay, let's say I make a preparatory move as well. Let's say I play king b1. Now, what the hell is going on here? Like, engine actually says king a8. Can you believe that? Like, what is going on here? I don't know. Let's say h4, f5, e5. I don't know. This is not clear at all. This is not clear at all. I mean, the pawn goes to h4. I'm not too sure about this one. Queen f4 is probably a threat. White is, of course, better. White is, of course, better for sure. But I don't know. Somehow looks less convincing than bishop takes e4 or f takes e4. Somehow looks less convincing. But yeah, maybe possible. Like, this is a very clever move. It's a clever move. Creative as well. More like a Dubov sort of move. Dubov would play something like this. But yeah, to me, to my eyes, fe4 or bishop e4 is better. Like, fe4 looks so secure, I don't understand why you would not play it. Especially since you can always transpose into bishop c2 if you wanted. So why would you commit to bishop c2 yet if you can always transpose? Yeah, bishop c2 doesn't seem practical. You can always transpose into it. Okay, Gokesh has not allowed sacrifices. He has played bishop b7. So now knight g5 is not dangerous because I can stick a bishop here. and I bring my knight to c6, I exchange your best bishop. So in such a situation, white's best try would be to play bishop b1. You don't want to exchange D's bishops. But then knight c6 and black has ideal piece coordination. So good that this bishop actually stands on d5 and not on b7, where the knight on c6 would actually be blockading this bishop, blocking the bishop. This is actually pretty for black. So yeah, I mean, knight g5 doesn't work, so Hikaru should not simply play it. Best option for Hikaru, in my opinion, you have to take, right? I mean, knight g3 doesn't do anything, so you have to take. And this is what should happen. And now Hikaru has to make a critical move. Like, he has to be really precise here. Otherwise, Gukesh takes over. So what do you play here? Since black is threatening to play bishop d5, exchange these good bishops. And Hikaru's decision doesn't seem easy to me at all. Okay, let's say you develop. I play bishop d5, rook d1, knight c6. Guys, I don't think Hikaru even has a way. I think black has equalized already. Seems to me black has equalized. I don't see a move. And Hikaru's not even playing his moves quickly. If he was sure about what he wanted to do, he would have played a move quickly. He's not sure here, as you can tell by the time usage. He's not sure at all. Hikaru seems to realize that Gukesh is taking over and there is no way to actually fight for something. At least not that I can see. You try to keep pieces on the knight c3. In that case, I could start with knight d7, develop my final piece. Let's say you put a rook on d1 to gain d5. I could play rook c8, bringing the last piece into the attack. You defend the knight. And then I could play knight b6. Put a knight here. I put a bishop here, maybe. The rook is active. d5 is firmly controlled. No kingside attack. Black is doing awesome. Marvelous. This is like the dream position if you're playing as black. This is the dream piece coordination because this bishop doesn't eye the king. Knights are far away. That's all you want. You've got firm control here. Yeah, for black. Yeah, I don't see an option. Equalized. Unless I'm really missing something. I think Gukesh has equalized. He's not winning, he has equalized. Like, white does not have any pressure now. Not that I see. Not that I see. So yeah, I mean, feel free to ask any other questions, guys. We'll be very happy to answer. Until then, we just have to wait for the moves because critical decisions on both the... So we will have to wait for some time. Let's check Pragyananda in the meanwhile. Seems like Nijat actually got rid of the worst case. Like, he's not getting checkmated. The knight on e4 has disappeared. White has the bishop pair. The knight is far away. Seems like it hasn't gone too bad for Nijat yet. He has a good try with g4, h4, h5. Since black is attacking on the queen side, he's offside. You could try to play on the king side. That's what I would do. I don't like h4 first because black plays h5, so I want to start with g4. It's a possibility. Arjun has played like this before. In a similar position. Arjun Erigasi has played like this, g4. That's why I know. $2025, but I don't know the month. Can I guys can I show you guys a game which I definitely think you should see? You guys should check out Gashimov versus Grishuk King Walk. Game out. Just check this game out and tell me if you have seen a sharper game ever in your life. Let me know. It's on the poison pawn variation, I think. See if you can find this game And let me know if you have seen a sharper game. I don't think it exists. A sharper game doesn't exist. And I think this was Grishuk's prime. But yeah, until then, I'll just wait for something. Okay, Fabiano has taken with the bishop, it seems. Instant response bf4. And the only way for white to fight for advantage is g4. Like king b, the next best move is king b1, which doesn't make sense to me. So the move, well, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense in this position. The I would either look for d5 or g4. Like that's the only two moves I can see. Like d5, the problem is the queens get traded, and probably the worst is over for Nepo. Although dc6 can be something. Pawn takes, bc6, bishop c6, and long castle. Crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Like, who would have thought in this position you actually long castle? Oh, that would be such a heartbreaker. No, this would be closer to equal. This would end in a draw. I mean, I know white can be up a pawn, but they are doubled, isolated. I would expect a draw here. Good, like some chances for white. Two result game. But yeah, funny, funny. Two result game though. If Fabiano wants, he can go for it. Black cannot win. So gf4, but if you are really, really good at chess, you go for g4. Was it played in Baku? Might have been, I don't remember. But if you see the game, you'll realize there is only one game like that. Like there can't be another game like it. So go through some moves and you'll see what I'm talking about. See where Grishuk's king reaches. Grishuk's king should reach a5 towards the end. That's the game. a5 or b4, one of the squares. So the king started on g8, ended on b4. Do look at that game. Until then, let me fix this chess.com bug. We got. Okay, Hikaru chose to keep pieces on the board. This was, yeah, I mean, seems practical enough. But now Gukesh can either develop the piece, he can stick a knight on d5, either one works. Either one works. I would have thought knight d7, but knight d5 doesn't seem wrong as well. Does queen e4 or not? Probably not, no? Queen e4, knight c3. Some pressure here. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it. But at least knight d5. Yeah, what do you do after knight d5? If not queen e4. Queen e4 is not Indian suggestion, but practically seems reasonable. Queen takes b7, knight d7. At least you keep the bishop pair. This seems like most practical choice for Nakamura. If he wants to play for something. Not the Indian stop suggestion, but my suggestion. What is Indian suggestion? So Indian says, let's say knight d5. Okay, now Indian is saying queen e4. Okay, Indian is starting to like this. Because realistically, you need some dynamic play. If you just exchange like this is just an isolated pawn for no activity. Like the only reason you get an isolated pawn is to have some activity. Otherwise, there is no point of having an isolated pawn. b4, not b7, b4 or a5 or b4, one of the two squares. Should I find it? Just give me a second. So Mo versus King Walk. Yeah, let me. Yeah, this one. So look, the king starts on e8, right? d7 is the board visible. Yeah, the board is visible to you guys, right? King d7, rook h8, bishop f4, check, c3, c3, queen d5, rook f7, king c6, king b6, king a5, king a4, king b3, and then king d1, bishop b7, rook d8, king a2, king b1, and Gashimov resigned. Tell me if you have seen. Tell me if you have seen a game like this. Tell me if you have seen a king walk in a middle game like this. I don't think a sharper game has ever been played. I don't think a sharper game has ever been played. Like, just look at this thing. How does Grishok bring his king to a5 in the middle game? Like, what actually is this? Like, what sort of Alpha Zero was Grishok channeling within him? And what year was this actually? What was Grishok's prime? 2010. Yeah, I could imagine that. Yeah, 2010 he was active. Yeah. So, I mean, explain it to me. What is this King A5? Yeah, crazy game. Let's go back. It seems like we got Fabiano to make a decision. Nakamura seems a little bit worse. Until then, any other questions, guys? Okay, Bishop D2, Knight D5. Yeah, Bishop D2 is very conservative. Very conservative choice by Nakamura. No, yeah, I highly doubt White is in any trouble. Black is in any trouble. So seems like it's about to be a two result game for Gukesh soon enough. Like you could take and play knight d7. Simply stick a knight on d5. Not much White can do about it. Yeah, this doesn't seem right for Black at all. The bishop can come to d5. Even if you trade the bishops with an isolated pawn, you have the bad bishop, I have the good bishop. Black cannot lose. So even that's a scenario. Fabiano plays g4, guys. This guy is absolutely crazy. This guy is absolutely okay. No way, Fabiano. Guys, come on, Fabiano. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about. Okay, that was a king walk as well, but there you lost as Black. This one is way sharper. Come on, Grishuk's one is way. Fabiano has played g4, guys. This guy is onto something. This guy is onto something. They call Fabiano the engine. Sorry, they call Fabiano the Caruana the machine Fabiano. That's what they call him. Because in his good shape, he basically plays like an engine. Caruana the machine Fabiano for a reason. For a reason, guys. He's in his element today. He's channeling his inner Alpha Zero. Oh, Nepo, not a good day for you. But if Nepo wins, biggest clutch of all time. If Nepo wins, biggest clutch of all time. Yeah, I mean, like, Gukesh is not even spending time. Like, knight c3, bishop c3, he played instantly. And now, knight d7 or bishop d5, either one would work. I expect Gukesh to make a move soon because he has taken knight c3 so quickly. Until then, let me fix the bug. Yeah. Why is Divya Deshmukh called a CEO? I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. Like, I've seen her being called that once, but yeah, no idea. I have no idea. I mean, yeah, what are some of the coolest nicknames you know about players? Like, I don't think we have a nickname for Magnus except the goat. We know Adhiban is called the beast. We know Fabiano is called the Caruana the machine Fabiano. I have played against her twice. Both of the times I was lower rated than her. Once I was 1800 and she was 2400 and I drew. And once I was 2200, she was 2400, I lost. So she has a positive score against me. Not for long though. Not for long. Not for long. I know her strength. I think I'm capable of beating her. The thing was, she was 2400 when I was 1800 and she's still 2400, I think. But good player nonetheless. Sharp tactician. But yeah, I mean, real pleasure. Uh, oof, oof. Why is Gukesh not making his move? Wait, why does it say it's Nakamura's move? Has Gukesh already played something? Yeah, he's played knight d7. Okay. Gukesh has. This is the live position. Yeah, like Gukesh doesn't have to think here. Like he's not even thinking. He just knows what to do. Oof, oof. When yeah, Gukesh is on form, is in his form. Fabiano is in his form. But if Gukesh wins, Fabiano winning doesn't make a difference. Gukesh just qualifies. G4. Yeah, now Nepo's thinking, right? He probably didn't expect G4. And who would? Who in their right minds would? Let's say Nepo plays H4 pawn. Rook E1, disaster. Well, close to disaster. Hold on. Yeah. I mean, Bishop C6 can't be good for black. I fail to believe it. Fail to believe it. So that means you probably can't play H4 and you have to go for long castle. And then I can play D5 as I wanted to do earlier. And with the bishop on E4, DC6 becomes really powerful. This is what I really like. Yeah. What's your favorite chess channel? My favorite chess channel. Well, you know, I'm a big Hans supporter. Big fan of Hans. But since that's controversial for you guys, I'll give you the next best one. I would have to say St. Louis Chess Club. St. Louis Chess Club has some really instructive videos which you guys should watch. But yeah, I know you guys are a bit divided for Hans. Some of you like him, some of you don't. For me, innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, that's that. But for now, guys, this game is getting heated up. Heated up. So we gotta sort this out. We gotta sort this out for Hikaru. Any practical chances to create something? You, I mean, this might look impractical to you guys. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I thought you could hope for something, but I fail to believe it now. Like knight f6, even if you gain this pawn back, it's still equal. 3 versus 3, 1 versus 1. I mean, you can try knight d4, knight f5. Some reason, I don't know, like rook e8, bishop a3. Yeah. You can even give the bishop. Like, oh wow, there is bishop f8, which I didn't see, but even move like bishop d6, knight d8, rook e2 seems pretty logical. But yeah, I mean, queen f3, you can hope for something, but much harder to find the moves for white than for black. Yeah, Gukesh is putting game name. What do you mean game name? Okay. Okay is in the chat. Seems pretty okay to me. See what I did there? Game name. What do you mean? Okay. Welcome to the chat though. Is draw possible in Nepo game? Unlikely. Look how sharp it is. So unlikely. Decide there. What is this game? This game is chess. There is no way. There is no way a viewer showed up who doesn't know what game this is. Wow, that's phenomenal. What? Wait, is he asking me what game it is, or like he's just metaphorically commentating on the game? Wait, he doesn't. Wow. We got some non-chess players in the chat. He's finding out what chess is on my stream. That's going to be a legendary moment for him in some years. Or for me. Oh, you didn't have to say that, okay? Didn't have to say that. Could have just let me be happy with that. You guys. Could you have not let me just enjoy that moment? You had to spoil that, didn't you? Okay, being a bit too pushy there. No. Anyways. Anyways. Yeah, Nepo doesn't seem to have played a move. Gukesh doesn't have to seem to play a move. Prag, equalish position. Nijat keeping it conservative. Queen c3, bishop against knight. This bishop is slightly bad, but the knight doesn't have an outpost. Guys, knights need outposts. This knight doesn't have an outpost. If you go here, you can always get kicked with f4. So, slight edge for Nijat, but that's all. Nothing here, nothing here. So, we gotta keep the conversation going. We gotta keep the chat. Ask me something else until then, while these guys are thinking about their moves. After long castle, g takes h5. What's the line then? Do you take with the pawn or do you take with the rook? You don't play takes at all, as far as I thought. If castle, you go for the king. Who cares about a pawn when you can go for the king? Funny thing in chess is that after you take your opponent's king, the material on the board doesn't matter. Quite a funny thing about chess. So I think it's more rational to go towards the king, since material doesn't matter there. This is the problem. And if you play a move like c5, right? Then I have d6. And that bishop is more than a monster. Calling it a monster would be an understatement. Queen e6, queen a5, threatening checkmate, threatening queen a7, black is gone. So can't play c5. That means your best option is to probably, well, you should consider king b8. Does it work or not? That's a different question. Because you want to play rook c8, put a pin there. dc5, knight c5, this is what you have to find. And then I have rook d7, which is absolutely crazy. If you take with the rook, h8 hangs. If you take with the knight, I have c7. Phenomenal. Absolutely tremendous. Phenomenal idea. And then once the king moves, you can actually take on h5. Stay with me, stay with me. You can't move the rook since the rook hangs. And if you take, I actually play c8 queen. And I win this rook, then I win this rook. Oh, guys, come on. This is way too much here. Way too much. Oops, oops, oops. Way too much going on here. Stay with me, guys. Yeah, I mean, d5, Fabiano plays, I give him a 70% probability of winning the game already. If every chess player ever existed is born around the same time as Magnus and had engines, who's your top 5? Okay, I might have to type that out, no? So Magnus, of course, because Magnus has the talent. But the other top players that we see right now are around Magnus only, so not too much difference. So Magnus for sure, number 1. Kasparov. We gotta give it to Fischer as well, of course. These 3, of course. Magnus, Kasparov, Fischer. Does Morphe come into the equation or not? Or does Eliakim? Eliakim could be one. Okay, these three for sure. I have to decide on the next two because next two is complicated. Ivanchuk is an option. Gelfand is an option. Oh wow, Bronstein is an option. Bronstein was claimed to be the strongest player who didn't become the world champion. Capablanca is an option. But wow, now this I think this becomes subjective. This becomes more subjective now. Even Anand, no, even Anand could have been one. Vishy Anand. But just because of my preference, I'm gonna say Anand. I feel like Anand could have been one. Especially since he has been in top 10 for the 30 years, for the last 30, 35 years. So I'm gonna say Anand, and I'm gonna give my last one to. Oh, Tal with engines could have been. Yeah, I could have given it to Tal. Tal with engines would have been a menace. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to. But no, if there were engines, people would have learned to defend against Tal sacrifices. So I can't give it to Tal. Not Karpov. I don't think Karpov would have been the greatest of all time. Karpov was good, a genius as well, maybe you can claim. But I would say Ivanchuk is above Karpov. But welcome to the chat, Ashish. I think Ivanchuk was crazy in his prime. So I'm going to give it to Ivanchuk. I think the natural talent wise, Ivanchuk, yeah. I would give it to Ivanchuk. Only man Kasparov ever feared. So yeah, gotta give it to Ivanchuk. That's my top five. Magnus, Kasparov, Fischer, Anand, Ivanchuk. That's one hell of a list. And like we can make a case for all of them, right? So it's not too far fetched. No, you are really under. Yeah, Karpov was great at positional chess, but you are really underestimating the genius of Ivanchuk. Ivanchuk in his prime would eat Karpov every day for breakfast. You can't compare Ivanchuk's prime with Karpov's prime. Ivanchuk was just better. Karpov was great at positional chess, no disagreement there. But come on, Ivanchuk, you guys need to see Ivanchuk's creativity. The only thing was that Ivanchuk was a little bit inconsistent at times, but in his prime, he's better than Karpov. He beat Magnus Carlsen twice in one day with black pieces in World Rapid and Blitz. Beating Magnus twice in one day with black pieces. Tell me who else has done that. So yeah. But welcome to the chat, Ashish. Yeah, might have been actually. Was it 2014 or 2013? I think you are. Was it 2013 or 14? One of them, yeah, could have been. He did defeat Carlson with black pieces. Yes, yeah, okay, wow. Magnus hasn't won a single game against you. Same. Candy Shop owner, hot take. Are you going to give me one or are you talking about my one? Until then, okay, some improvements in Naka's game. B1, putting the king towards the king. Rook c8, natural move. Could have started with knight f6 as well, but I don't think it makes a huge difference. I like knight f6 a lot. You just defend any attack coming here. You can always stick a bishop on d5. Can always put a queen on d5 as well, perhaps. But it probably allows knight e5. That's why didn't Gukesh like it. Gukesh didn't like it. Yeah, okay. If you don't like knight e5, keep the knight there. Play rook c8, natural move. Bishop probably has to go to. Yeah, where does the bishop go actually? b2, you are blocked by the pawn. d2, you gain the full file. But b2 still looks more. Very hard decision. Or do you just exchange it? But then you are going in closer to an endgame. Very hard decision. Bishop d2 or b2? Ooh. Wow. I mean, if I play B2, there could be a blockade. If I play D2, I think D2. I think D2. I'm not 100% sure. I think D2. But then knight f6, yeah, I mean, yeah. Doesn't look good for Nakamura at all. Karl Deathbed version, Magnus Kasparov, Capablanca Fischer. Not a bad list at all. It's just that I think that the only reason Tal was so good, well, one is his calculation ability, and the other thing was that his sacrifices were hard to defend against. But if you give everyone the engines, they learn to defend against those sacrifices. So that's why I think Tal, yeah, you could make a case for Tal or not. There was one guy once Magnus told about him, some guy in 1930s or 40s. Are you talking about Paul Kiris, for example? Paul Kiris could be one. Or are you talking about Sultan Khan, maybe? Paul Kiris was also very strong, never got to become a world champion, got very unlucky. He qualified for the he qualified for the world championship match, but then the World War II happened and he never got to play that match. Very unlucky. AI has taken over chess, then why are we still wasting time here all night looking for new dumb chess world champion? Because humans can't play like AI yet. If humans could play like AI, things would be different. Then we would just have boring draws in every games or precise chess, but humans are far from playing like AI. Any AI would defeat any human. Like even Carlsen would lose to Stockfish 16. Maybe he can make a draw in some openings, but yeah, that's my 2 cents there. Humans still defeat each other, still play good games. The only thing is that openings are a little bit less interesting to see because everyone is coming with engine preparation. So you still don't have that wow element because you know everything has been checked by engine. So that wow element is disappearing from the openings, but otherwise, pretty good. No problems there. Or sometimes even engine preparation gives you a wow factor. Okay, Nepo has long castled, and I am 90% sure Fabi's gonna play d5. Like Fabi was d5. Like he's gotta play d5. They call him the machine Fabiano for a reason. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Isomaniac. Yeah. Maybe there will be a time if when we solve chess fully, but that time is not yet. Once chess is solved, it will be less interesting. Right now doesn't seem plausible as of today. Maybe in the future though. Maybe when I'm old, when I am when I am Ivanchuk's age. Uh, well, if you become the world champion, I think you deserve a grandmaster title. But those days regulations for becoming a GM were much different, and even I highly doubt Tal did not achieve them. He must have achieved them. Come on, guy was brutal. When I analyzed some games on ChessBase for him, he had the rating of 2600. So he definitely, come on, can't be that he didn't meet the GM title. Guy was a world champion. Come on. But yeah, Tal can be very well included in that list. Magnus Kaspura Fischer, of course. Capablanca used to play a lot with common sense. So Capablanca, if he continued to play with common sense, the guys with the engines would actually kill him. So Capablanca would have had to change his style to be one of the best players with engines. Whether he would have done that or not, that's a different question. So him being in that list is conditional. Is conditional. Also, there's a case for. Do you guys know this player? Very curious. Do you guys know this player? Grandmaster Jonathan Spielman and Grandmaster John Nunn. Magnus said John Nunn could have been like a contender for world championship, but he got into other side. He got into more into academics and stuff. But you should check out Jonathan Spielman, really creative player and former world number three. Hikaru game, nothing has happened. Oh, what? Somehow it. So Hikaru has sacrificed a pawn for compensation. Yeah, we had knight f6. Okay, Hikaru did play bishop d2, as I was saying. Bishop. He doesn't look too happy, but doesn't look too sad on the screen. He sacked the pawn. He knew like that was his best try. Otherwise, the blockade would have just killed his chances. Yeah, practical chance to keep the bishop pair. Hope for the best. But he's now not trying for a win. The best he can get is a draw. Once these pawns are off the board, it is just a 4 versus 3. That means it's just a draw. Yeah, Gukesh is not losing this, guys. So Gukesh is at least making it into tie breaks. The only thing is, will he have tie breaks or just he just wins? That's the question. When he was young, he played a tournament full of GMs and won. It was before like when he was 2300 or something. So FIDE made a special case for him and awarded him GM title. Oh, okay. In that sense, yeah, it's probably possible. Oh yeah, okay. Wow, that's yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I understand that now. I thought you meant to say that uh, Tal never got a rating of 2500 in his life, and Tal never scored any norms. I thought that's what you meant. I was like, that's not possible. Yeah, but the other thing is Vladimir Kramnik did not apply for a grandmaster title. FIDE just gave it to him anyways. He never applied for a GM title. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most deserved match, Gukesh versus Fabiano. Like, yeah, they deserve it. Really deserve it. Like, I would have wanted Hikaru just for content, but the players who actually deserve are Gukesh and Fabiano. You could make a case for Nepo, but yeah. Well, Nepo also deserves to win once. Come on. But yeah, Fabiano has had it long dues. Fabiano has had it long due, and yeah, Gukesh we know. Guys fighting at age of 17, not letting Hikaru win. Really makes me think how much is experience worth in chess? Does experience really matter if people are becoming GMs at 13? Yeah. Or maybe there is like huge diminishing returns to experience. Maybe you can gain, maybe the experience that you gain after playing chess professionally for 8 years is not significantly different from experience you gain playing chess for, let's say, 15 years. Maybe there are high diminishing returns. Hard to say. Hard to say. Gukesh seems to be dominating. He's played Queen A4 and he's playing very quickly. What is this guy up to? I hope he doesn't make a mistake. D1, Queen A4, best move. Yeah, the pawn is protected. Rook is coming to D8. Gukesh doesn't even have to think here. Queen B7, aggressive choice by Nakamura, attacking E7 and A6. Hopefully, Gukesh doesn't have any problems here. He can play bishop c5, f2 is weak. So bishop c5, let's calculate. Bishop c5, queen a6. What happens then? I don't want to... Queen d4, there is bishop e3, so can't do that. Bishop c5, queen h4. g3, queen h3, bishop f1. So that doesn't work. Bishop c5, queen a6. What do I do? Are there bishop takes f2 sacrifices somewhere? Would be funny to see that. I don't see them yet. I don't see them yet. Bishop c5, queen a6. I definitely feel there is something. I just don't see it yet. Bishop c6. There is queen h4, g3, queen h3, bishop f1, and what did I miss here? Oh, there is bishop f2, only winning move. This is what I missed from a distance. King f2, queen h2, king f3, g5. Oh, this king will be destroyed. Bishop g5, queen h5 wins. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, come on. If we get to see this on the board, yeah, well, this is what a final round of candidates should look like. Yeah, I'm expecting. I think Gukesh can find bishop c5. Crazy chess, guys. Crazy chess. And also the thing is that with bishop c5, Gukesh might be threatening bishop takes f2, king takes f2, queen d4 if he can make something work against king e2. So it's on the cards. Bishop f2 might be on the cards. Until then, any other thoughts? Don't know why Fabiano's taking so long to play d5. I'm sure this position was in his analysis. And Nepo thought for 20 minutes before playing long castle. So of course you thought about d5. So why? What is Fabiano thinking about? He could gain a big advantage on the clock if he played d5 early on. Yeah, Spielman is actually a really creative player. Really creative player. He was world number 3. I don't know how dangerous he would have been with engines. He's still very strong. Like he was there at the tournament I was playing. At his age, he's still very, very strong. Much stronger than me. Still, imagine. D5 played by Fabiano. D5 played by Fabiano. Someone's going for the win. Oof. Oof. Fabiano not letting it slide, is he? He's not letting Gukesh win so easily. Wow, someone's gonna get disappointed in this game. Yeah, this is not ending in a draw. Fabiano's calculating till mate. Might as well be. I think he sees mate in 40 right now. When did you start? I started playing at the age of 11, quite late by professional standards. I think Pragyananda started at 5, and I started at 11. So late by professional standards. And that's probably one of the reasons I am not as strong as these guys yet. Maybe if I had started at 5, who knows what things would have been like. Yeah, I know. That's a great idea. I think I should start on Twitch as well. Yeah. Well, Nepo's one, Paul Kiris is one, David Bronstein is one. So they're all very unlucky players. I mean, I think there is no one unluckier than Paul Kiris. You should read his story. Paul Kiris was the unluckiest one. You could also say Peter Lecco was unlucky because all he had to do was make a draw against Kramnik in their World Championship match and he would have become the world champion. All he needed was a draw and he didn't get that. Even with Karo Khan, he played Karo Khan, he didn't get a draw. He was unlucky as well. Paul Kiris? You mean vertical streaming? You mean how they stream on shots like vertical streaming? That one? Atharv? Welcome to the chat if I already didn't say that. Welcome to the stream. Really pleased to have you here. Let's go. We are attracting more viewers. Paul Kiris, yeah. You should read his story. They used to call him Paul the Second because how many times he had been second in tournaments. Yeah, okay. I will look into it. Uh, a question: do you guys know this YouTuber Sadistic Tushi? This YouTuber Sadistic Tushi. Someone ex someone explained to me how did this guy manage to gain so much following? Like, I mean, he's not a title player. He's decent at making. I heard like I saw he's decent at making content, but how did he attract 30,000 subscribers? 34,000. That's what I'm very curious. He's annoying and rude, is he? I haven't watched a lot of clips of him, but I was just curious, like, how did he manage to amass such a large audience? I understand this guy Sahil Teku is actually strong, and he's I think he's a CM, so he's titled, and he's a little bit funny as well. So okay, makes sense. He got the following, but I mean, I just want to know what did Sadistic Tushi do to gain that much followings? He just made shorts on solving puzzles. Yeah, I know the puzzle shorts gain a lot of views. My best shorts were on puzzles as well. Okay, so that's what he did. He still plays good chess, but I thought like 30,000 subscribers for an untitled player seemed great. Seemed like way too much. Either you're too good or you're too entertaining. Yeah. BC5 on the board on. Yeah, I understand. No, I understand why Samay. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm trying to make a balance. I'll get better with time. Just started streaming, but yeah, hopefully I will be one of the more popular streamers someday. But yeah, I've got to set up this Twitch thing. I think I should start streaming on Twitch. And also, I think I should put it on Leeches as well. No, Leeches also does this thing. You see people there. Gotta do that. No, Atharv. No, I've got boundaries. I've got boundaries. There are some lines which I don't cross. I'm a civilized person of the society. I don't get involved in degeneracy like that. Because during the COVID time, he got a spike in views. Yeah, he did. I remember. I remember. He started playing chess. He got training with Sagar Shah, and then they both of them collaborated, and now they are great friends. Is he? Yes, I'm in Hong Kong. What's he doing in Hong Kong? Well, okay, someone said go to Gukesh's board. Bishop c5 by Gukesh. Yeah, man, come on. This guy might win. Like, his probability of winning is 55%, I would say. 50-60%. He's finding one best the other. And he's up on the clock as well. Yeah. Bad day for Naka. Oh, Sadistic Tushi's in Hong Kong. Oh, okay. Red Crop, welcome to the stream. Let's go. We are attracting new viewers. That's what I like to hear. That's what's up. That's what's up. So good to see new viewers. Really good. Really good. Awesome. Hope you enjoy Red Crop. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, he's in Hong Kong. Yeah, he. Some is in Mumbai. Sadistic Tushi is in Hong Kong. Yeah. No, I was just curious how he got so many subscribers. Now I know. Now I know. So your suggestions for me was that I start on Twitch, I do vertical streaming, and I maybe put a thing on Leeches as well. Yeah, I've got to do that. Yes. Until then, until then, YouTube is what we have. Hopefully, we'll gain lots of subscribers soon. If you guys can share the stream with your friends, that would be awesome. Why subscriber count still the same? I don't know, Manme. I don't know. Is it still the same? Let me check. Let me check. Wait, are these not new? No, it's 107. It's up 5. Yeah, it's good. It's good. We got 5 more subscribers. 1 million subs in 6 months. Wow, that seems, yeah, that I don't know about that. That will take a. No, Manmay says 107 for me, so shush. Manmay, you gotta shush, you gotta chill, bro. By the way, he's my brother, so I can talk to him like that. He's gotta chill. Yeah, okay. Until then, can we find a good move for Hikaru? I don't see one. I don't see one. See one. You see what I did? See one. Got bishop e1, maybe defending f2. Avoid all the trickery. But I actually want to see Hikaru taking, and then I want to see queen h4. That would be absolutely crazy. One thing I didn't check was like queen a6, 4, bishop even there is knight g4, right? Yeah, that would win. H3 and there is knight f2. Yeah, I mean nothing there. Yeah, sure. So I just want to see queen a6 and this is what I want. This is what I want to see. Yeah, he's strong. Manmay is strong, guys. Uh, I'm being held at gunpoint to say that, but he's strong. Okay, yeah. I mean, by the way, above he said that he. No, he's younger. He's younger. He's younger. I'm joking. I'm not being. He's in a different room. He's not even here. But he actually beat Michael Adams yesterday. He beat Michael Adams yesterday. Retreating move is difficult to play for Hikaru now. Yeah, I mean, come on. Hikaru's sensing that the things are going wrong for him. The thing is, will he choke or not? He's still got time on the clock, but he's way behind than Gukesh. He's played something, it seems like. Bishop e1 played, okay. Just the things. Now Gukesh can just protect the pawn with a5, completely possible. Seems most natural to me. I think I will see a5 very soon. Seems very natural. What I expect to see is like a5, maybe bishop b5, or is that too much? Queen f4, putting pressure on f2. Queen f, I don't know, g3. Yeah, I mean queen e5. What problems does black ever have? Nothing, right? D5, yeah, Nepo seems to be in trouble. He's taking a lot of time, so that means he's not sure. If Nepo is in time trouble, he's not sure. He didn't. That's what I think as well, Atharv. That's what I think as well. That's what I think as well. So that's that. I mean, there's nothing like. Can you imagine the amount of recognition Gukesh would receive if he becomes the youngest world champion, considering he is from India and the chess in India is booming? Can you imagine the amount of recognition and like even sponsors he would get? Will be absolutely crazy, right? Like he can, yeah, it is like phenomenal. Like earlier, he would be in like, yeah, he would be on cloud nine, yes. And actually, on 2700 chess, what is his live ranking now? If we go to 2700 chess, is Gukesh world number 6 above Erigasi? Gukesh is world number 6, guys. This is not a joke. If he wins today, he might be world number 5 above Norderbeck. Imagine being 17 years old and world number 5. Yeah, he definitely would. Like world number 5 at the age of 17. Can you imagine? And potentially the youngest world champion. Uh, Indians are different breed, man. No, check the live ratings on 2700chess.com. Gukesh is one above him. You can check the live rating here. Gukesh is a little bit higher than Arjun. And if he wins today, he'll be world number 5. World number 6 is Gukesh, 7 is Arjun, and then 10 and 11, I think. No, 10 is probably Prag. But yeah, I mean, imagine top 15, we've got 3 Indian juniors. Crazy. Crazy. My live rating is like 2372, I think. 2372, 2373, something like that. My peak was 2388. What if he draws? Who's he? If Gukesh draws, I think you're talking about Gukesh. If Gukesh draws, he makes it at least into the tie breaks. So it depends on what happens in Fabiano Nepo. If Gukesh makes a draw and Fabiano also makes a draw, then Gukesh qualifies. If Fabiano wins and Gukesh makes a draw, then they play tie breaks. I don't think there is a. What's least for an IM? You need 2400. I might play in summer. I might play in summer. The thing is, with university, you don't get many holidays to play. If I was playing actively, I would have become an IM by now, but I only play like so few tournaments a year. I would have been, if COVID had not happened, I would have been an IM at like 17 or 18. Yeah, most likely by 17, I would have been an IM if COVID had not happened because I was in big momentum there. But right now, yeah, after exams, I'll try my best. I am pursuing a degree in mathematics, first year. Mathematics with data science, actually. Yeah. Thank you very much, Candy Shop owner. Really pleased to hear that. Fabi, somehow, without being in the continuous limelight like Hikaru and Gukesh or Nepo, somehow ended up getting at 8 points per round. Please, volume. There is no way on earth, there is no way on earth Nepo defended the pawn by playing h4. There is no way on earth Nepo did not worry about his king and focused on defending the pawn. Winning probability for Fabiano is now 80% in my opinion. I am a clinical medicine student. Red clinical medicine student. Wow, nice. What year? Fabiano takes what else? Of course. Yeah, Nepo's tripping. I think his idea is to play knight c5. If you take, then make a shield like king b8. I think this is what he's hoping for. Make a shield with king e8 and I don't have queen e5 check. But do I have to take on b7? Do I really, really have to take on b7? Do you guys think he has missed bishop f5, king b8 and rook d7? Or is it not possible anymore? Is it possible or not? Wow, engine's changing his evaluation continuously. Is it possible or not? Uh, I don't know, like c7, what happens here? King a8, cd8 queen, rook d8, queen c7, queen e3 check, king b1, queen b6, really complicated line. But bishop f5 check, king b8. And Karwan actually just wins by playing king b1, getting rid of any queen e3 misery. Wait. Gukesh and Hikaru had a result. Wait a second. Did they end their games? They agreed to a draw? Wait a second. Guys, can you confirm if the game is over? Guys, can you confirm if the game is over? Because I think I saw a handshake. Or am I hallucinating? Because pretty sure I saw a handshake on the screen between Gukesh and Hikaru. No, can't be, right? Can't be. Hikaru has no chances if he makes a draw. I don't know. Come on. Can't be. I think I just hallucinated. No, right? Okay, okay. But maybe it was a clip from before, but on my screen I thought there was a draw. Okay, okay. I was scared for a second. But Hikaru played Queen B5. Hikaru's offering a queen trade, so he's not playing for a win or what? If queens get traded, Hikaru doesn't win in any situation whatsoever. I think Queen B5 is more of a psychological tactic because Hikaru knows Gukesh is playing for a win, so Gukesh won't trade queens. And if queens stay on the board, Hikaru can also play for a win. So he's testing Gukesh's psychology here, I think. That's what I think is happening. Yeah, Gukesh is probably relaxed. He's got yeah, he can always look at Fabi's game to dictate his decisions. Now we know that Fabiano's winning, so Gukesh has got to play for a win as well. But bishop f5 check, king b8, king b1 is essentially winning for Fabiano. Because you avoid any queen e3 misery and then you have rook d7 tactics. Rook d1 is threatened, not much you can do about it. Let's say you save the rook. Let's say you play rook f8. Simply rook c1. Rook gets tucked in, c7 is coming. If you play b6, defending the thing, then I play b4. You move the knight and I play. Well, I could not play c7 here, can I? Knight c7, right? So I hit your queen. You move the queen to c7, stopping my c7, and the knight gets trapped. So this is what I'm expecting. I mean, yeah. Fabiano's just crushing Nepo. Yeah, Naka's playing with fire. He's playing for content, but Fabiano's winning. So yeah, Gukesh got to do something. Gukesh got to do something. Oof, this could go either way, guys. This could go any way. Oh, oof, oof. If Gukesh wins, all Fabiano's hopes are destroyed. Imagine playing such a crushing game and you still can't make it into tie breaks. Imagine, just imagine, Fabiano crushes Nepo like with such a beautiful game, and then Gukesh also wins and Fabiano can't do anything about it. So if Firuja played his best game today, well, that was funny, Atharv. That was funny. Yeah, guys, if you don't know, Gukesh made a sorry, Ali Reza made a draw in 5 minutes. I would say about 60%, 55, 60%, 55, 60%. Because Hikaru's capable of defending this. Fastest draw of candidates ever? Maybe, maybe. Or maybe we have had this Berlin draw before. Very common draw. Wait a second. Isomaniac. Remember, Fabi is not good at fast time controls because what happened against Carlsen? Fabiano choked in fast time controls. So, but well, Gukesh is also not a speed player. Gukesh also likes to take his time. So actually, we can't make any conclusions. Both of them are not speed players. Both of them are classical players. Because you don't see Gukesh playing speed chess often, right? You see Nihal playing a lot of speed chess. You see Pragyananda playing a lot of speed chess. Arjun playing a lot of speed chess. Gukesh doesn't play a lot of speed chess. So might be that it's about equal in terms of their capability in speed chess. So can't say anything about that. Well, as I said, I mean Gukesh is in shape. Gukesh is in better shape than Fabiano. The only thing is, will Fabiano activate his engine mode? Atharva, he's playing for grinding elo. Yeah, I mean, more elo the better for Pragyananda, right? And Nijat is not in best shape. Nijat didn't win a single game this tournament, did he? I don't think he won a single game. Yeah, King B1 is all Fabiano has to find. Or Bishop F5 check and then King B1. I'm sure Fabiano sees that CB7 is not the best move. I'm certain Fabiano's calculating Bishop F5. The only thing I don't know is if he sees King B1 or not. If he sees King B1, he'll play it. All he needs to realize is that Queen E3 can be tempting for black. So he just needs to avoid the queen trade. That's all he needs to do. Yeah, this candidate was super strong. Like we have had four leaders maximum behind by half a point, like crazy. 2025, they'll give the players a 1 year to play. King c7 I didn't explore, but King c7 you have to always worry about Queen a5, no? Queen a5 checks could always be there. Let me see. I think 5 is always a worry. Is it not? Queen a5? King takes c6 and actually the king survives. Or does it? b4? Queen e3 check and you get a draw, I think. You have to play b6, but eventually you get a draw. It's a crazy draw, but it's a draw. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, that's why. Okay, that's why you probably still should play king b1 here. Just get rid of queen e3. Just do that. Or play rook e1. Get rid of it that way. That also works. But get rid of this. My thought was why couldn't we play rook e1 here? There is queen d6. And there is no queen d6 after king c7 because there is. What's the difference? If I have king on c7 versus b8 in this position, what's the actual difference? I probably have queen a5, king c6, and b4. Yeah, I think that's the difference. So if you have king c7, rook e1, queen d6, I would think I have queen a5. King c6 doesn't work here. Now b4 wins because there is no queen e3. Yeah, that's one reason. The other reason is that now cb7 is a little bit better because you threaten b4. Okay, so everything is connected with b4. I like that. I like that. So, yeah, the only thing is Fabiano has to find king b1. If he doesn't choke, wait, World Championship is in November, not in 2025. I would have thought this is in 2025. Is it not? Wow, okay. Not an FM author. He's a 2000 FIDE. This is crazy. Oof, oof. Any other questions, guys? I mean, this is looking spicy. Queens did get. Is Gukesh not happy to play for more? Well, I think Gukesh is saying at least I can't lose, so at least I guarantee myself a tiebreak. The only thing is, was this a practical decision or not? He took 10 minutes to take, and he probably did not like Queen f4 because there was what? Something like g3, Queen g5, Queen takes a5. I mean, he could still push with knight g4, right? Oh, but the thing was, if Kukesh doesn't have any attack here, like if this attack doesn't work out, White has an outside pass pawn. I think this is what Gukesh could not figure out. Will his attacks suffice or not? The outside pass pawn with the bishop pair can be dangerous. And if the attack doesn't work here, it's better to trade the queens. I think this is what Gukesh thought. So now we have some developments, but now this is just equal with slight plus for Gukesh. Gukesh can grind this for as long as he wants. Whether he will win or not, that's a different question. Yeah, Manmez. Yeah, Manmez. We have the same surname, right? And our names rhyme as well. So you could probably tell by the name. My Chopra. He's Manme Chopra. Yeah, I mean King F1. Oof. Yeah, at least Hikaru can. Half of India also has the same surname. Little bit far fetched, but you can see our names differ by one letter. I am the older one. He's 17. I'm older. I'm older. Until then, yeah, King F1. At least Hikaru can make his moves quicker now because queens are off the board. Less thinking for him to be done. So, I mean, this is possible to hold as a draw. So, Hikaru's not winning this. I hope not. But Gukesh at least has guaranteed himself a tiebreak. So, chances of Gukesh making into at least a tiebreak are like 90% here. 90% chance for at least tie breaks. Yeah, I mean, Hikaru called a bluff with queen b5, right? Hikaru thought Gukesh would play for a win and not exchange queens. But Gukesh did not fall for any bluff. Yeah, yeah, the whole family is. Until then, has Fabi found bishop f5? Not yet. Still thinking. He's got time on the clock, and this is the last critical moment, I think, for him. The other moves will be easy. The only thing is, I sincerely hope Gukesh doesn't blunder. He doesn't choke under time pressure. If he can manage that, all good for him. 90% chance Gukesh makes it into thing. Can Nepo somehow make a draw? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. Like Fabiano now has like a 80% chance of win. And I might be being conservative. Might be more than 80%, but in my experience, at least 80%. Because Fabiano's not done on time, his position is easier to play. Nepo can't win. So 80-20. 80% win for Fabi, 20% draw. If Fabiano finds bishop f5 and king b1, 95% chance of win. 90% chance of win for Fabi. If he finds the this sequence, bishop f5 and king b1. What's Hikaru's reaction? I can't see him on the board. Can't see him on the board. No, it's based on experience, right? I've seen similar positions and I've seen 2700s win. How often do these players win these kind of positions? So it's not a random guess, no. It's based on experience. I've analyzed a lot of games. But yeah, it's my estimate. So you can add your own margin of error if you want. But I think it's a pretty solid estimate. Pretty solid. Until then, I am really hungry, so I might grab something quickly to eat. Have to figure out. Wow, knight c5. Yeah, I mean, Fabiano hasn't made a move. Naka hasn't made a move. No, Naka has played g3. Naka has played g3. So we got that. We got that. King e7, both bringing kings to the center. Of course, they should. Puts a pawn on a4. Now the bishop always has to defend the a5 pawn. Yeah, this is getting closer to a draw now. This is getting closer to a draw. Fish and chips? I'm a vegetarian actually. Can't have that. I can have chips, not fish. But king e7, king e2, most likely. They'll make it to 40 moves very quickly, I think. 10 moves away. 10 moves away and 30 minutes. Approximately 30 minutes for each side. There is no way. Is it? Is it? Is bishop f5 check on the board? And king b1 on the board as well, right? Oh. Oh. Whoa. Oh, so you're moving towards being vegan, right? Candy shop owner? Like getting closer to becoming a vegan, I think. But for now, yeah, 85 to 90% chance of Fabiano winning this. He has enough time on the clock. There's enough time on the clock, and yeah, I don't see much for Nepo here. Can we see if Fabiano's confident on the screen? Is he walking around or is he there sat? Nepo looks stressed. Nepo looks stressed. And yeah, he seems really stressed. I don't think Fabiano's on the board. He's gone. And one key line here is that BC queen before check, king a8, you have rook c1. The knight is pinned to the queen. You can play rook d5, but there is bishop e4. Guys, let's not make this chat a debate on whether we should be vegan or not. It's a matter of preference, right? Let's just respect each other's preferences. Oh yeah, Isomaniac, I get your point. It's possible. But just in case, let's just be respectful, yeah? F5 by Gukesh, an attempt for a win. He's pushing, he's not giving up. So still, Hikaru gotta find something. Hikaru could play rook c4. Take, you pressurize this knight. Okay, we exchange everything. No, not with this. Sorry, with the bishop. Here the pawn would have hung. And now bishop c3 maybe. Well, if you can get rid of this knight, opposite color bishops is an easy draw. So you'll have to move the knight. You have to move the knight. Even though engine doesn't think you have to move the knight, you have to move the knight. Opposite color bishops would be an easy draw. So let's say knight e8. This is probably the best move. Hira, welcome to the chat. Wait, guys, what is this chat becoming? My dad had to move for work, Atharv. So like the whole family had to move. Hey, Hira, can we be a little bit more mature in the chat? Atharv, please, you too. I mean, I know you. This might like these type of comments might seem funny, but I think they're a little bit. I don't think they're necessary. I think we can be a little bit more mature in the chat. I don't mind jokes, but let's just be a little bit more mature, no? No, what did you do, Candy Shop owner? You didn't do anything. Yeah, but welcome to the chat, Hira. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Oof. B6 by Nepo. I didn't think that was a good move. Why did I not think that? Uh, it's refreshing. What's going on? Is my internet bad? No. So B6 a mistake and Fabi is plus 3.7. Our idea Rook D7 works now, which we were trying to make work. That one works. So that's probably the move Fabiano is thinking about. The other one is Bishop D7. You can also stick a bishop. What's the idea? I don't know. I'm yet to figure out. Not entirely sure what it does. Let's say I make a move like F6. Rook E1. Okay, you put the queen out somewhere and you go for the F4 pawn or D6. Okay, this could win. But like, I think Rook D7 looks so fancy that this is what my choice would be. But it looks very fancy, doesn't it? Knight D7, you probably lose. C7, and now I have the Bishop B7 check available as well. This, I can even take here, but let's say I take queens. Why am I not allowed to take? It's not letting me take. Funny. What? Let's say I give a check. Okay, that also wins. You have to give up the queen. If you play here, then I can take. Guys, the pawn is not letting Fabiano win. It's not promoting. Bug. What a bug. S.com is against Fabiano. A little bit biased, I would say. But yeah, Bishop D7, both of them win. Vidit couldn't do much. Vidit actually could not make a lot of points, so he just agreed to a draw today. Which one do you think, guys, would happen? Bishop D7 or Rook D7? The fancy one or the precise one? Bishop D7 is precise, Rook D7 is fancy. But one of them will be played for sure. Unless Fabiano opts for B4, which is also tempting. Little bit riskier, but probably tempting. Knight A4, no? Yeah. This, I don't know. The queen is attacking here, knight attacks the queen. Not 100% sure about this. I am expecting a piece to come to D7. Whether it will be the bishop or the rook, that's what we are yet to see. Good news is that Fabiano has 21 minutes to make the decision. 21 minutes. Nepo thinks he's sick. He might be, well, sick means in terms of good at chess or actually sick. In this situation, it could mean either thing, right? He could actually be sick or think he's great at chess. Rook c4 played by Hikaru. He's defending this with ease actually. And now Gukesh is low on time. Low, relatively lower. Oof, rook c4. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting Hikaru to make a draw. Would be fun if Gukesh wins. But then I would not get to commentate tomorrow. B6. That's what Alireza says, right? B6. He played B6. And yeah. Rook d7, bishop d7, which one? I'm still trying to. So bishop d7 really is to go rook e1 and queen d4, right? And then you get queen d6. So if I make a move like, I don't know, queen g5, for example. Okay, c7 exists, very hard to see. But I can play rook e1, right? I can play rook e5. I can probably play queen e5. h3, bishop f5 again. I cut off the queen from e5. Rook d7 played. He's played my fancy move. And Fabiano actually looks very happy with his position. I can tell. He played my fancy move, guys. I think I'm Fabiano. Bro thinks he's Fabiano. Yes, I do. Bro thinks he's Fabiano. Bro thinks he's Fabiano. I am. If you don't agree, that's your problem. Why don't they just award me 2700 rating? So what, I use a little bit of stockfish time to time. Hair, not in my games, hair. Don't take this out of context. Okay? Before you know, allegations would have started against me. Okay. I think I just saved myself there. King b1, b6, rook d7. And now only move is to take with the rook. Rook d7 played. C d7. Most likely rook d8. And then queen d4, threatening f4. Pretty much wins. I mean, engine doesn't seem to believe me that this is winning. Engine does seem like there are fighting chances for black. I'd disagree. I think this should be close to winning. Hold on. Okay, pause on the stream. Let me cook. Manme, if you want to cook some food because I'm hungry. So queen d4, knight d7, d1. I make a pin, not rook e1. That would be bad. King c7, and how do I finish it off? Do I just grab the pawn? I want to finish this off, but I don't see the best way. Queen c3, knight c5, queen takes f4. If queen takes f4, you've got to play knight e5. Rook takes d8, king takes d8. How exactly do I win there? I'm better, but how do I win? Unless I can play rook e1 here. I don't need to take, right? King takes, black can hold. But rook e1, if f6, I might have g5, getting rid of the defender. This might work out, yeah. This might work out. Rook d8 on the board by Nepo. And was rook d8 the best move? Was right. And now rook d1. There's also this funny line. You can play rook d1, knight d7, and you can play queen d2. Now you hit f4 and d7 both at the same time. And no queen e3 because your king is on b1. He be giving Tanmay tips. Nah. You guys are tripping. You guys are tripping. He's not going school tomorrow. Do you actually have school tomorrow, Manme? Day tomorrow, right? He might actually have school, yeah. Rook c4. Yeah, Gukesh is starting to think here. I don't want what he did against Ali Reza to happen again. I don't want him to choke, but he'll make it to 40 moves, so shouldn't be a big problem. Rook c4 played, bishop c4 incoming. Yeah, okay, the rooks get traded. Yeah, Gukesh is not losing. Okay, so we are going to see tie breaks most likely. Has Fabiano played something? He must have calculated something here. He seemed confident on the screen. He looks confident. Nepo's gone from the board as usual. What time is it in UK? It's 11 p.m. Probably 3 o'clock in India. So 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. But you guys can't miss this, can you? You guys gotta be active. We're gonna watch history today. History being made if Gukesh wins. Else, we're gonna see history being made tomorrow. Maybe. Well, in one case where Fabiano wins, against Gukesh in the tiebreaks, Fabiano will easily beat Ding. I think like if Fabiano goes neck to neck with Carlsen, he'll beat Ding. He'll beat Ding. As long as he's in good shape. Queen d4, little bit less precise by Fabiano. Rook d1 was probably Queen d4 is good enough. Well, when I say little bit less precise, I really mean little bit. Still wins, still completely winning. So knight d7, rook d1, king c7, queen takes f4 or queen c3. Which one is he hoping for? He can actually still go into this. Like knight c5, I don't think is possible. You have b4 after taking. No, knight c5 shouldn't be possible. Rook e1 and then b4, right? Yeah. So you have to play queen c5 and he can still go for this line. Queen d2, take f4 and put pressure here. So maybe he pose. For now, Nepo has to take. No other option. Other moves are way too bad. There is a big move. Gukesh came fast. What happened? Knight b4, right? I mean, okay. Is Gukesh saying he's fine with the draw? Because bishop takes is a straightforward draw. They might as well agree to a draw if they're taking on b4. Doesn't seem like Gukesh is. Because if you go into opposite color now, this is basically a draw. Maybe Gukesh thinks he can press with an outside pawn. I would think this is a draw. But at least Gukesh does have some chances. Totally. Not totally. Not totally far. Fabi does play Title Tuesdays. Yes, Fabi does play Title Tuesdays. Good practical decision by Gukesh, I think. If I think this might seem like a draw at first, but notice that this pawn cannot move. And if Gukesh gets a pass pawn on this side of the board, then he has two pass pawns, which can be something. Objectively still a draw, but can be something. If he gets one more pass pawn on the king side, then he has a pass pawn on the queen side and on the king side, and this bishop needs to be defending this pawn. Could be something. Could be something. So interesting decision by Gukesh. Before. My next question was, could I take on d8 in at least, and then I can play a move like f4 or f3. Just waiting, but maybe you bring your king in, right? Knight d5. Okay, not easy, not particularly easy for Hikaru, but he'll find something. Hope maybe. Who is your favorite streamer? I've said this many times. Well, not exactly, but I like Hans. I like Hans a lot. Anish Giri also. I think Anish Giri is more entertaining than Gotham. Anish Giri is more entertaining than Gotham. Would you agree or disagree? Probably the best streamer is Anish. Hikaru is good as well, but I think Anish plus one. So that means you agree, I think. Yeah. Anish is more mature. He's funnier, I think. So I prefer Anish. He doesn't stream that often, that's the case. Wait, wait, wait. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Anish should stream more, I think. He did stream a few title Tuesdays. And he was with Chessbiz India as well, but he should stream more, I think. He's funny. Oh, now I see it. Now I see. Wait, 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 wait. Yeah, he does say that a lot. He does say that. Yeah, he does say that. Yeah. I don't know. Do I say okay a lot during the stream? Do I say okay a lot? I'm like, okay, now what? Do I say that a lot? I think I do, don't I? I used to a lot. But now, yeah, I mean, never noticed. Well, maybe it's not that excessive then. Plus, you are new to the stream. Queen c5. Okay. Queen takes f4. Only move queen c7. If you play king c8, there is rook c1 pinning the queen. So queen c7 only move. And then I can just play queen d4 back, no? Or queen d2. Which one? Both of them could work. I like queen d2 more. I think it keeps control over h2 as well. So I'm threatening this knight. You have to play h3 because you can't bring the king in, can you? If you bring the king in, there is rook c1. I win. So you have to play h3. And I can't take, can I? There is h2. And black is threatening to take everything and queen at the end. So Nepo's fighting. Nepo's fighting hard. I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my voice. Okay, not making it easy for Fabi. I see you. I see you, Nepo. I see you. But the move I really like is f4. It stops h2. I think this is a very practical choice. You stop h2 forever, and you can always put a bishop on e4 and queen on d5. Threatening mate here. I like this a lot. It's not Injin's top suggestion, but it's very practical, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, Fabi will take on f4. I don't see another option. By the way, guys, he can't take this doesn't do any good. This actually loses. There would be pawn, and it can't be stopped. You can take with the bishop, but then even there, king c7 and bishop. You can't play bishop because same problems. You'll have to play g5, rook d7, rook h1. This is a draw. So he has to take on f4, which I think he'll play very quickly. He takes on f4, queen c7. He's got to make his next move now. I expect queen d2, but he might play queen d4. Okay, we got an okay streak here. Guys, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I got to drink a bit of water. Been speaking for been speaking for 3 hours. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Ah. Oh. Fabi is gonna win, seems like. Oof. Nepo's hopes seem to be ending. Interesting idea in Naka's game. He just moves the rook. Gokesh just moves the knight and he just brings out the bishop. No trades, he says. I think he understood Gokesh's idea that bishop endgame, opposite color bishop endgame, was not so easy to defend. Tricky guys, both of them. Both of them. Now the question is, what does Gokesh play? I'm guessing g5. Seems natural. You try to make a pass pawn somehow, and you try to gain more space. Doesn't seem bad at all. Yeah, why not? Yeah, yeah, for sure, Candy Shop owner. See you later. Catch you later. Can Vishali qualify? I don't know. I haven't been looking at the women's candidates because this was so interesting. Until then, I mean, I'll probably end the stream if Fabiano wins, like whenever Fabiano wins, because I know Gukesh cannot lose unless they play quick as well. Okay, moves on Fabi's board. He plays Queen D2, which was my prediction. Candy Shop owner, like the stream, like the games might be finishing quick, so you can actually wait if you want. Your choice. I don't think games will be going for that long. But right now, Queen D2, I don't see much. H3, best try by Nepo. Fabiano looking confident as usual. No, he's got time on the clock, so I doubt it. I doubt it. He's got time on the clock. Wait, why is this position different? Women's candidates. What's going? Vaishali was not in the leaderboard, was she? No, no, no. Vaishali is way behind. Vaishali is on 6.5 and the leader is on 9. No, Vaishali is way behind. Oh, the winner was decided was decided one round ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No hope. No hope for Vishali here. We have women's winner. We have Tan Zhongyi winning the women's candidates. We already have a winner there. The only thing is we got to figure out the men's one, open section. So it could become really. G5 played. G5 on the board. What's up with the hair? What do you mean? What's up with the hair? What's up with the hair? It's a fade on the side. I got a fade. Yeah, what about it? Do I have no? What about them? What about my hair? My hair is intact. Fade on the sides. Shout out to my barber, Soren. Yeah, I mean G5 played goofy. What do you mean goofy? What do you mean goofy? So yeah, you are disrespecting me. Like what's wrong with the hair? Come on. We got we got women's candidates. What's going on here? So Leighton J's game apparently to be really sharp. Where is Leighton J? Okay, what is the king doing on a4? Well, black is winning, so What is this? Let's see if we can farm this game for content. A Nimzo Indian A3. Okay. Not the best move in the position, but a playable one seen time to time. Okay. Standard idea. H6. Okay. Preparation. H4. Crazy. C5 again. Crazy. E5. Creating a hole for the E4 square. Creating the hole for the knight. Queen a6, c4, knight g3, knight e4, king d8, knight d6. What is going on here? Rook h7. Wow. Queen takes a5. Holy shit. Holy shit. Rook b1, you can't stop rook b7. And you can't stop knight. Okay, rook f7 was a bit better. But knight f7, you could not stop this. You had to give up your queen again. And wait, white blundered. White was winning and then white blundered. White had to find bishop e3. When you're down a queen. Wait, bishop e3? No, engine is tripping. Rook f8. Rook g7, threatening bishop takes g5. G4, bishop g5, f6. Nah, Stockfish is tripping. Stockfish is tripping. Stockfish is tripping. Stockfish is tripping, guys. I mean, yeah, this is crazy. And now black is winning. I mean, the queen sacrifice was great. It actually did even work. But bishop e3 had to be found, which is really difficult. Really difficult to play a move like that when you're down a queen. Okay, let's go on to the next game. Let's look at Fabi. Fabi. Fabi's played bishop e4, so he's going for my queen d5 idea. I'm telling you, I'm Fabiano. You guys don't listen. I am Fabiano. And wow, Nepo doesn't seem very pleased. The thing is, if you try to stop queen's d5, then you actually, I think, run into queen h6 and the h3 pawn hangs. I think engine says g5. But can I not take like this? Is this not working? Queen c7, if I take, apparently you can hold a draw here. Okay. So you don't want to take the pawn that early. I thought Fabi would go for f4. He goes for bishop e4. Both are possible. Wow, crazy. Crazy. Oof. Bishop e4 and now okay, Fabiano's getting down on time. I'm a little bit scared now for him. He still has 9 moves to make. Less than 1 minute per move. I'm a little bit scared for Fabiano. Don't mess this up, Fabiano. You are capable of winning this. Wait, progress. Progress. A5, queen d5, king a7, queen takes f7. Okay, that pawn falls at least. Fabiano's clearly winning now because of this pin and this pin. If this pawn falls the board, black resigns. Black's only hope is this pawn. Only hope. But we got a crisscross on the board. Crisscross there. Yeah, 10 viewers at one point. Okay. The number of viewers are decreasing. You guys. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's late there, so probably some of you went to sleep. We had like ten concurrent viewers at one point. Is Isomaniac still there? He was there for a long time. Has he left? Isomaniac, are you still there? H2, F4 maybe? F4 actually is a pretty solid move. You can never queen. Never ever. Okay, let's see if there have been up. Let's see. It seems like four people on the stream, but yeah. Oh, now two. Yeah. Okay, everyone's leaving. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's probably late, right? Like we had a concurrent viewership of 10 or 12 at one point. So 12 concurrent viewers. And now, as the time goes by, people leave because it's getting late. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Looks interesting. Queen at 7. The pawn has been stopped. Has been stopped. So, not Gokesh, Fabiano on the verge of winning. On the verge of winning. Could have also played f4. I don't know why he didn't play f4. Stops h1. Well, okay. No, this is not bad either. And once Fabiano makes it to time control, I'm probably ending the stream. Unless he wins before that. Gukesh Nakamura seems like a draw. Wait, Naka has won a pawn. Somehow, Naka managed to win a pawn after bishop b5. There is no way Naka's gonna press. Is he? Is he actually gonna press for a win? You guys think Naka can win this one? Nah, come on. Gukesh has more pressure. Rook d2, bishop c5 coming in. No, Naka can't win. Surely not. Surely not. If Naka wins this one, that's the biggest clutch. Like, come on. Until then, Nepo gotta make 6 more moves in 15 minutes. Doesn't seem easy, but possible. Like, Fabi can also just start running these pawns. King b8, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he just runs this pawn up the board. And g5 not be played, yeah, perfectly playable. G5 now seems like the best move according to the engine. But also you can play rook h1, no? Simply knight c5, yeah, okay. You want to play g5, keep the pawns running. Okay, that looks interesting. Oof. Oh, now everyone's gone, it's just me. Okay, not bad, I'll commentate for a while. Let's see if there are any other viewers. But g5, we are getting rid of the h2 pawn. Rook h1 is coming, queen takes h2 seems good. Have we got that already or not? King b8, g5 seems good. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Naka, come on. Naka, please don't win. King b8. Yeah, well, let's hope these guys make to 40 moves very quickly. Fabiano's burning time. He's got 6 moves to make. 6 moves to make under 5 minutes. That's absolutely crazy. G5. Come on, Fabiano. Play a move. Play a move, Fabiano. Make a move. The hope is not lost. Come on, Fabi. Come on. Make a move. Nah, king has queen at 7, king beat. He's still thinking. He doesn't want. Fabiano, don't get flagged. Don't get flagged. Oh, yeah, not a big deal for him, I agree, but I just hope he doesn't blunder. He will not, most likely he'll not. But as soon as he makes into, yeah, a3 is a pretty solid move. Square for your king. Asks black what he wants to do. Maybe b5 by black. I don't know. Can't play any other thing, right? King c8, you have bishop f5. Or even rook c1 maybe. So can't really play anything else. Can't really play anything else. But no. What does Nepo even play? He needs to play quick to put Fabi under some pressure. But then again, if he plays a really bad move, he loses. And the chances of him making into the World Championship again go to nil. Nil. What else? Um, I don't see anything else. I mean, what else does have? What else does Fabiano have? Or Nepo have? Sorry, I mean he can only play b5, right? I don't see another move. Rook f8, is that something? Bishop f5 perhaps. So that's all about that game. Bishop d3. I don't think Gukesh. Can he still win? Bishop d6. This might. Okay, come on. Is Hikaru really trying for some tricks here? They are up on the. They have 30 minutes on the clock. 30 minutes added in. So yeah, highly doubt Gukesh can lose this one, but Hikaru can create a passed pawn, which is a little bit scary. Little bit. Hope, yeah. Come on, Hikaru. You, if you actually win this one, wow. Something played? No. Nepo still thinking. Nepo, if you make your moves quick, I get to leave early. Pragyananda seems to be winning against Nijat. H3 seems to be hanging. But this is not the game of interest. Ali Reza just made a quick draw. And these are the critical games. This will last for a while, so I'll keep my focus here. This is about to. This might end soon. Nepo seems really tensed on the screen. Really tensed. Wow. Queen e5 played. Queen e5 played. I wasn't expecting this move, but does it actually work? Yeah. Simply g5, maybe. G5 you can't take since I take on h2. So g5 is very natural. Queen h6 is also good, going for queen c6. Two possibilities. Two possibilities here. So will Nepo find something after g5 or queen h6? Fabiano, can you please make your moves quicker? He's down on the clock. Come on, Fabi. Can't be burning time like me. Fabi, come on. Come on, Fabi. I know you got this. You got this, Fabi. Queen at 6 or G5? Which one do you think? Queen at 6 played. Precise. Going for Queen C6. Not bad. I think by Nepo's reaction, I think he missed this move. I think by his reaction, he missed this move. Wow. Wow. Gonna be a clutch for Fabiano. Very tensed. Very tensed. Come on, Fabi. Any. I'm fearing Gukesh is going to. Gukesh is over pushing now. I think White is very much back in the game. I'm scared for Gukesh. He's over pushing. There was no way. Chess base for to commentate for free. Yeah. Once I gain a few more subscribers, once I gain like 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers, I can actually do that. But right now I have 100 subscribers. I'm literally no one. I'm literally no one. So it doesn't seem right. No, like with 100 subscribers, you're going to Chess Base India. Doesn't seem right. But once there are a good subscriber base, of course. Like if I had as many subscribers as Sadistic Tushi, I would ask Chess Base. Well, actually, they'll hire me for my commentating skill or their commentating skill. What does that mean? Queen C7. Do you see potential in me as a commentator? Well, if you do, then that's a good sign. Queen C7 played and Rook D2 just wins the pawn. G5, not bad, still playable.